Okay, there's no turning back. I took the button on.
All right.
All of our dirty secrets have to wait for another 2 hours.
Oh, man. You were just getting to the good part.
Alrighty.
We're here, guys. We're here. My apologies, but it takes time to do this stuff.
Alright, so that is... Yep. Well, when people come on in, they'll come on in, but we're...
Yeah, we know somebody's waiting for us.
Wait a minute. Alright.
Can I just start off in saying, like, this is going to be the saddest Guess the Banzuke.
Oh,
I've been dreading it a little bit. I'm like, to put Takakeisho's name out of the O spot it's a bit much.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of pain, but...
We'll rip the Band-Aid. Can we
What?
rip the Band-Aid off and just do that first?
Yeah, sure.
So we don't have to
There we
think
go.
about it anymore?
Sanayama is Yokozuna.
Okay.
There it is.
Perfect.
Boom.
Excellent.
1 for 1. I'm gonna
We got
make this a little bigger. There. Now it's super large.
Is Mitch going to come? I know that there was some question as to whether he was coming. Hello, Ha Bob Gob.
Alrighty. Oh, we'll put him one west because then we can do Terraform one east.
Oh, perfect. No, we have
Sorted.
no symmetry. There's a lot of coin this time, so prepare for fun and gambling.
Oh boy.
Is there drinking going on as well? I know there usually is. Okay.
Yeah. So again, the top's always the easiest. Boom.
It used
Boom.
to be easy.
Look at that. 3 done.
Hello,
Lace.
Lace.
Yeah.
This is your thing.
Yeah. As per, I have done no prep. I have not thought about this at all.
Good.
I'm going in for this blind.
That's the best way to do it.
Because I know a lot of I used to do a lot of research on this.
And it got you nowhere.
It got me nowhere. It got me 4 and 11, like 2 and 13. Shodai for Yokozuna.
Great.
Shodai for Yokozuna. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
There it
you
is.
do that.
That's a Banzuke right there.
Yeah. I mean, if Sumo looked like that, we'd be in great shape.
I still love the rank changes. Like, are you sure about this? That's a bit of the drunken fist technique. Yeah, like if I ever really do get lit up, like I'm gonna have to sleep on your couches.
That would be a fun night.
Maybe one night.
We'll plan it for like when things are, I don't know. Is there ever a tournament where like life isn't crazy? January?
Maybe. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think more of like what would be that kind of a Guess the Banzuke, like what event?
Crazy happening.
What event?
Well, we might have massive retirements.
Here to Umi Yokozuna ceremony.
Okay.
I'll do it.
It's definite now.
I'll do it.
Oh, Mitch is here.
well, potentially other things, but like that kind of it's party time.
Major thing has to happen, and then it's like, all right, John, sleep on the couch.
Sleep on the couch. All right. Anyway, so this is officially we've run out of easy. That was quick.
Now it's gonna get hard.
Yeah. Now we've got whatever. All right.
Could you imagine if you were somebody who doesn't know us and you came in and you saw this and you'd be like, "What is going on?"
This is the perfect icebreaker because then you go into chat, you're like, "What are you doing?"
Like, please stop.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Look at that record, 10-5 for Shodai. He's looking pretty good.
It is party time. So yeah, we have found how low Shodai can go down the Banzuke before he just passively does well.
Right, where he just like lucks into
a bit of luck, a bit of just sort of woke up and did sumo and it worked out for him.
I mean, he could almost take the Snorlax thing, except he doesn't really have an aggressive side.
It's not
like
enough.
Awake and less awake.
Yeah, it needs like Ichinoji had the split. Also,
He
like
did.
it was so like, oh, this is the good Ichinojo, and then it's like, oh, it's that other Ichinojo. And like
it was a Jekyll Hyde.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it was a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Like for Shodai, like the Ozeki Shodai is few and far between these days.
Yeah.
It'll show up a little bit. Mitake Yumi's been showing up a little more. He's making something.
Trying to make something happen for sure.
A little bit of something. Here, I'll do this.
Why did they even put Jurio down there? Is that just for placeholding?
For people coming up for Jirio.
Oh. Okay.
This I don't know why they have this go all the way down like this.
Because they don't have these other brackets, right? Like
There,
you can only
yeah.
guess the top division.
There may. this may also be like if you're doing some crazy Banzuke like 3 down. Like Guess the Banzuke is just the top 42, but there may be other guess games that are deeper.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess that's what the helper is for. I don't know.
It would only make sense.
All right. So here's where this gets weird. Some people guess Cheerio, that's why it's there, yeah. And then that's when you need the Makushita.
Yes, like Monster, that's like his thing.
So when it comes to the Sanyaku, it's a popularity contest.
It is a popularity contest.
So
we have 3, 8, and 7s.
Yeah, well, there's that too. This is such a weird scraping by. So what we learned, so we're only gonna have there's.
What about Hiraumi? I mean, 10-5.
This is here's the problem. There's physically no room in Sekiwake.
Right.
For him.
So he's got
because Takakeisho has to go here.
Yes, we learned the last time.
Yep.
It's the final spot.
I'm learning, guys.
Oh, you just hurt me.
This is the way it looks.
I know, but I felt a stabbing pain in my abdomen. And look at that arrow, that down arrow. That has not been there.
He's got Ozekiwake.
Yes.
2, maybe.
I am gonna join Chris's Patreon. I've decided because I want to see those Daisho and Takakeisho hanging out stuff.
Yeah, that was sort of on the side. He was doing a piece on amateur sumo. And like it's a college sumos and stuff like that, and so he's been focusing on stuff that's not mainstream for the Patreon, the stuff that the only way you would know about it is if you were there,
right?
And so it's nice to sort of get like the deeper things, and there's a little bit more personal stuff like him going to places and like him getting eyewitness accounts and stuff like that. But what is nice about it is a lot of the bigger news he will have on, like, you know, who's in, who's out, like the big tabloid, that stays on the YouTube. He did have an interview, I think, with Takayasu that I thought was on the YouTube, but I guess it wasn't.
No, none of the interviews are on YouTube.
So that's the kind of stuff that he'll do. It's just like it's nice depth for people who care.
Right. I care, John.
I know you care. There maybe we'll do like a viewing session sometime. I'll bring it over.
That would be cool. Yes. I would like to do that. So on this note, I put in the kanji for Takakeisho's name, and I found all kinds of matches from his kid days.
Oh, that's how you got all the stuff.
And the one with him fighting Onosho was just amazing.
Dude, he was a hype machine when he was little.
That was a different guy.
He got reeled in.
Well, you know, his Ozeki promise was to like take in his emotions. So I think that's all it is. I think he's still the same guy, but he's like, I gotta do that Ozeki thing. So if he retires and becomes a stable master, I hope he's just like yelling all the time, because that would be great.
He's gonna have no cares once he gets elder stock. Mm-hmm. Once he's got the thing, he's just like, what are you gonna do, guys? I'm here now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the I don't
care.
Yeah,
so they don't think they're not sure if Abi and Onosato are gonna swap.
Okay.
So Onosato got a better record, got a special prize that he may or may not have needed.
Abi scraped by.
Abi scraped by.
That was a desperate 8 and 7.
Onosato beat the Yokozuna.
Yeah, Onosato's taking the top spot, guys. Come on.
You
guys just don't like him.
It's fine. You cannot like him. It's fine.
What's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
I love you all, but what's wrong with you?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, well, we're you go live the minute I get off lunch.
Sorry, Goose. That's just how we are. We were like, hey, when's Goose's lunch break? Let's do it now, right now.
Just put us on in the background.
Just tell him you need a longer lunch break today. You have something very important to do.
Yeah. Taking me in. All right. So this is like the point of controversy, whether or not the
I think that's set.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Onosato, he may have some of the Tobizaru blessing.
And you know, Abi's not exactly, you know, the committee's favorite. It's not like it's a golden boy there. They got their problems.
Takakeisho fan club, Onosato anti fan club.
Pretty much, and I'm okay with that. You know what? They can do their hating thing because it's fun.
It's the hate fest.
I love the hate fest. It's all in good fun.
I feel like this is, and again, so like something that I was internalizing is when you get to Sekiwaki and Kamasubi, like your ranking is less important, like East and West, and that's just how many wins did you have the last tournament.
Right.
And because from here, once you're in Sanyaku, the real promotion is the one to Ozeki.
Right.
And then, like, if you do a little better, maybe you go to Sekiwake or down,
sort
up
of
and
like
down.
the placeholder. Well, I mean, don't you have to be Sekiwaki to go on an Ozeki run, or is that not true?
Only Sanyaku is the restriction.
Okay.
JJ had brought up that theoretically, if you're like top 3 Megashira and you're like destroying, like 2 U shows, over 33 wins, maybe they'll take your top 3. But I think when we were talking about this during one of our other shows, JJ had made mention, it's just like nobody has ever been promoted from an M4 or lower.
Okay. Has anybody been promoted from M1?
I think, again, like you have to be absolutely stellar.
We have to like do some deep diving.
Yeah,
someday.
some people have, but
right, but it would be like way before our time.
It would. Ultimately, it's if you're in Sanyaku, Sekiwaki, or Kamasubi, that's when it counts. So, specifically for Ono Sato, where's him? There he be. So this is Megashira 5 with the 11 and 4. So this is specifically what we were talking about with JJ, or what JJ was adding in the comments, and I was reading them, is that like the Megashira 5 is too low. Right. So even though he could have gotten to 33 wins in July, like it
just doesn't matter.
I think if he had won back-to-back U shows, they would have given him the Ozeki, because again, how crazy is this guy? And then even though it's an 11-4 at Megashira 5, he has 2 U shows. Anyway, so the thing is now he's 9 wins and 12 wins, so this Kamasubi does count for the Ozeki run. So he's sitting on 21 wins.
So if he were to win September, is he Ozeki?
He's in. Okay. He gets 12 wins in September. He's wins because he's got his U show in May.
Yep.
So technically, if he gets 11 wins, that's 32. 12 wins, it's clean. So it's 12. No. 12 wins also your U show contention, which is also pretty nice.
Yeah.
Unless somebody absolutely goes on a tear, but
that ain't gonna happen.
Not in the way things are.
No,
somebody really needs to turn a corner.
We're long past the days of like a nice 14-1.
I have heard that Takakeisho does have a elder stock.
I have heard this as well, and I have heard that it's just a matter of when he wants to stop. And I did hear that his stable master was basically like, there's no talk right now for him to retire, but he's not going to fight as a Maegashira. That's what I heard. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was translated properly though. Just for being too new, Japanese culture says you go. This is the bone of contention.
So it's the Onosato overtaking Abi and the Hirota Umi overtaking Daisho. So I think I'm going with both. Hirota Umi. I like him, so there's bias, but he gets a special prize and double-digit wins in his first time in Sanyaku.
Right.
That means something.
The prize should matter.
Ono Sato, Bita Yokozuna, gets a special prize, which well done, I guess.
Because they didn't even have to give him the special prize with the 9 and 6. Like,
so
sometimes they're stingy.
Yeah, I can see them keeping this static. Sort of going with the chat on this one that the Hirota Umi Daisho feels a little bit more certain, but I can see them not changing anything or changing both or changing one or changing the other.
So it's almost like you're best off just being consistent with both of them.
They're
making a choice of, they're going to go on record and not seniority.
Yeah, there is a too young thing. There is also the sense of desperation for the new star.
Yeah.
And
it's getting more desperate by the day.
And so not to say that Kotozakura and Hoshiryu aren't going to get there, but they want that that magical miracle boy, the golden child, and
they'll reward you handsomely if you just
so
win.
I think that they will. Well, again, like sort of like either he's too young, he gets to sit and wait because Abi has seniority, or he is the chosen one, anointed by the sumo gods to free us from our miasma here.
Well, like I said, there's no love lost for Abi. Like, I don't feel like they're ever going to be like... They've had an axe to grind with Abi since he came in.
Guess is sent down, May. Or no balls. It goes down to Makushita. Hang on a minute.
Wait a minute.
Hang on a minute. Let's look at this. Let's see.
We don't know any of these guys.
Here's Daishoki. Oh.
Yeah,
he was 1, 3, and 3, so he's being demoted.
Okay.
He's going down.
All right.
We've done it.
You showed your courage. Now let's get back to the serious stuff.
So in your lake show, Yokozuna. There it is. You called it.
Yeah, I did.
You called it.
If you're not here for the context, it's like, what is going on here? We have Asano Yama, who we probably won't see for like another 2 years.
Hopefully we see. Like I am hoping we see him in 2 years.
Yeah, he might be a retirement. I don't know.
Well, it's it's. I see him floundering and sort of just
hurt himself more,
or just like never really breaking into Jirio again.
Somebody made a point to me the other day when I was like crying over Takakesho. At least he's not Asano Yama. And I was like, it's actually kind of a good
harsh
point.
but fair.
Yeah, as tragic as it seems for Takakesho, it's not that tragic. For Yusho and Ozeki for 5 years versus Asano Yama's complete collapse. I mean,
it's two tragedies. One was a tragedy done to him, and then the second one was the one that he did to himself.
Yeah. It just piles on.
It'd be like that.
So what Monster's saying actually is that he's questioning whether Onosato will get Ozeki. I don't know about that. I don't think they care about that young guy stuff. I've already talked about they had an axe to grind with Takakesho when he got Ozeki. They either didn't believe in his ability because he's one-dimensional, or they still were mad at Takanohana and they held him back even one tournament. They made him prove himself by winning it, getting the wins in an extra tournament and taking Tochinoshi's spot. Mm-hmm. They still gave it to him. So Onosato will probably get it, but they could in theory make him do another one like they did to Takakesho.
I was undecided on the green belt for Sanayama. I liked the color because it was the Chiyomaru green.
Yeah.
But then he destroyed his ACL with the green belt, so
he'll never wear that again.
I think there's a hex put on it. Also, hello.
Hello. We have two monsters now. It's very distracting.
One's Mega and one's Monster.
Yeah, so we'll just say Mega Monster or Monster. Yeah. It is hard not to feel pity for Asano Yama.
It's a rough time. It's a bitter pill, as they say.
We got some like serious sadness up here on the top.
Yeah. Another tournament that the top 5 was just handled.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at this. One Kachikoshi in the top 5. And it's Tobizaru. Well done. Well done.
That's for you, Mitch.
Yep.
I looked at past Yokozunas, and the longest between Yokozuna promotions has been 5 years on 3 occasions. In the 1920s, the 1960s, and the 2000s between Hakuho and Haramafuji. Interesting. So it was brewing in the 2000s already. But then they got 4 Yokozuna out of the deal. And then we got slaughtered again. Not fair.
We have a young crop. Allegedly, where is the boy?
I think you need to put Yoshi way up top.
Yeah. I think Takeru Fuji's back on tour.
What? Are we going to have another tragedy with Takeru Fuji?
Well, he's healthy enough to be on the Jungyo and the summer tour.
Which is good.
So, kind of sucks Hammer Fuji was able to, the 10th U show. This Bourgeois, I'm demoting him anyway just because I feel like it.
Mitch, you're going to tank your guess the Banzuke because of your pettiness? Oh, he's so petty, I tell you. And we're going to get stuck on Maegashira 2 again today.
Well,
It's already
yeah.
been predicted.
Just doing this. Oh, this one hurts. Wakamoto Haru.
Well, we got to take the positive spin, like you said in
Yeah,
the
I am.
recap show. He's
Yep.
just doing it for his brother. Not easy to get Yokozuna around Hakuho. What is that? Inez? That got held back from a lot more championships than they would have otherwise. They deserve flowers.
Hakuho, like, he had that streak of like 60 something wins.
Yep, until Kisano Sato took
Beat
it
him.
from him. That's such a shame because once again, Kisano Sato, had he not gotten injured, how different would everything be right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep in mind with that meant that there were 3 tournaments in a row that Hakuho was 15-0.
That's insane.
Half a year, nobody could touch him.
And I remember coming in to watch when he was on the decline, and it still felt like he could win every tournament. It's pretty insane. Kisano Sato got so many junior
yep.
with Hakuho being the one to have stopped him, which is why there were still a lot of people who felt that Kisano Sato had indeed Yokozuna level for a while. That's what happens, right? You know, you just happen to be a sumo wrestler in the wrong period of time.
Wrong time.
Or the magical mystery man.
I don't know if Ono Show's gonna make it.
I don't know either.
It's just
placing them down.
I might even. I think
You think? Yeah, maybe.
they. I don't know if they'll give Takanosho Kamasubi off of this.
I don't know.
I
That's a risk.
We've already got a lot of people in Sanyaku.
And plus, they like the equal thing if they can do it. I was lucky to see even late stage Hakuho. You could see so clearly how he was leagues above everyone. Yep, no doubt about that. That's how people feel regarding Cristiano Ronaldo to have existed during the Meisei era. He was in MMA, right? I know the name, but I don't know. Good choice. You did something right, John.
Oh.
I don't know what you did, but you did something right.
Nice.
Hello, Pedro. Welcome. There are some Dai Yokozuna who have never gotten a Zenyusho, Akebono being one. Wow, really? That's interesting.
Zenyusho's rough.
Yeah?
15-0. Whoo!
Yeah. I mean, we see it now. We can't even get more than a 12-3.
Yeah, M1 looks good to me. Yes!
They do have M1. There's no one else who can fill it. Okay. All right. Well, good.
Done.
Something.
In lock!
We have consensus that M1 looks good.
I'm confident.
I thought they were soccer players. Excuse me. I forgot. Okay. I don't watch soccer. Gotta be honest. But I've heard his name, so I knew he was really famous in some sport that I don't watch. Monster. Nah, he won't be Komasubi unless someone drops out, which usually happens. It's hard to move up to Sanyaku without at least 11 wins to force your way up. Well, I mean, he was, runner-up to the U show.
Playoff fight. If he won the U show, he'd be in Sanyaku.
Right. So I think they will drop him at Maegashira 1 because of that. It's just fun to entertain the idea. That's all. Now you're just doing placeholders.
I'm just doing the placeholders for this stuff.
Even Mitch concurs on Maegashira 1. So that means everybody here, this is what their Maegashira 1 looks like.
Yes.
I can't believe it. We never have agreement.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
John's feeling a little extra confident all of a sudden.
It'll go away real quick. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you try to figure out where to actually put Asano Yama.
I think I would agree with the consensus that it's these 8-7, 8-7, 8-7, 10. Like the fact that everybody who was in Sanyaku, Kachikoshi'd. Yeah. Which is... So now there's like, well, the logjam's back. It's the Hokutofuji effect.
Yeah, it is.
Hokutofuji,
really
sorry, you're M1 again. Just nowhere to put you.
Poor
Speaking of...
Hokutofuji. He will not be Maegashira 1 anytime in the future.
No. All right, so I dumped Nishifuji. You're gonna dump
He's at Maegashira 6, so he's pretty much capped at Maegashira 1 without someone else
Mm-hmm.
sadly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's...
Roga finally getting his Kachikoshi. He went 7 and 8 for 2 straight Basho, but still maintained his rank. He got lucky. Well, he just had to ruin our fun that we were having. You know, we wanted him to be the perpetual Maegashira, was it 15? Roga?
Yeah, he I mean, bless him for doing well, I suppose, but he did break the record.
Yeah, like, we want to have some fun, man. I really wanted Roga.
I think when we were on with Goose on the 13th, he won. He was 7 and 6. I'm like, still potential for 7 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he did a 9 and 6. He won out. God.
It's funny because I was talking to some people in karate class. I'm like, you should check out Roga. Check him out. And so they actually did because they're also Russian. So
there it
I was
is.
like, give it a shot.
I'll get him in. He needs. I feel like it's like one of those. Like, he'll grow. He'll grow into it.
He will. Some people are slower growers than others.
Yes.
Like Hoshoryu took a little while. I still maintain that Hoshoryu is like, I don't know. Even when he was losing, he still was a star. Which I wasn't sure was going to be the case because you have this legacy, you know, Asashoryu. Oh, you're the nephew. There's no way he's going to be as good.
He had to crawl out of that shadow.
He did.
And he did.
I read an interview with him, actually, where he talked about that. Where he's like, I literally had to rip that away from me because people kept labeling me as Asashoryu's nephew, and I really just wanted to be Hoshoryu. I'm like, oh, that's rough.
Oh, Shirokuma, that's what I was doing.
I still kind of like Roga. I like Roga. He throws a lot. I like throws. Roga was the weakest of his group. Hoshoryu made fun of him for being too slow in his promotions. Well, that sounds like Hoshoryu.
Get him. So here's the burning question. So Kitano Waka gets a 8 and 7 at Jiryo 3. And then Chiyoshoma is 5 and 10 at M15.
I think Chiyoshoma's going back down.
It is, but it's like the 8 and 7 for Kitano Waka.
I know. Hasn't he been like
Well,
denied?
he got whooped. Where is he?
So it was like one of those rough 8 and 7s.
What the last time he was in the top division?
Oh yeah.
They went 3 and 12, 5 and 10. Yeah, they beat him up and took his lunch money. And then he got 2 8 and 7s.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't promote him if it was me, but I do think Chiyoshoma's gonna go down.
I don't want to do it.
Hoshoryu doesn't even fight the same way as Asashoryu. Don't let little details like that get in the way of a good,
All right, fine.
drama story for people.
All right, so we got 3 up and we got 3 down.
3 up and 3 down.
All right, actually, hang on.
You feel this is the way?
I don't want to say goodbye to Chiyoshoma, but that's what the numbers say. Hang on, I gotta temporarily demote you because I actually have to put you somewhere before I forget that you're.
Could you imagine if you left it in there?
Yeah.
And Asanayama.
Well, Asanayama, he's
going to Juryo, right?
He's going to Juryo, so he can stay up there.
He can stay there until we're done.
He's enshrined.
Okay.
The Yokozuna. It could have been.
Could have been.
Didn't want to scapegoat him for COVID. Okay, buddy.
And there is a lot to say about Onosho and Tamashoho, but I don't know if we're ready for that yet. What? What does that mean? Is there things I don't know about again? I'm keeping Chiyoshoma in just because I wanna. Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. You're my spirit animal today.
Yeah, the sentimental pick. Hey, sometimes those end up working out.
They do. Like sometimes you just want to be wrong.
Yeah.
You don't want to. Yeah, it's like when we're doing want to do yes.
That's where you always want to be wrong.
Oh, like you see your guy and you're like, he's not winning that fight, but I'm
not gonna
ride
go
or die.
against him. Yeah.
Ride or die. The fight with Takakesa versus Tochinosha. I know I've said this before. It was there was a 7 and 7. And I'm like, I don't think Tochinosha's gonna beat Takakesa, but there's no way in hell. I was 7 and 7. He was 7 and 7. We both Makakoshi together. I'm like, this is the way I want it to go.
I want to go out with.
I am going with him. Throw me in.
How wild though? Let's just talk about that for a second. Takakesho knocks him out, takes his Ozeki spot, but Tochinoshin came back just briefly.
Briefly.
He got his Ozeki Wake, came back, so we didn't have to end on that note. That was beautiful. Tochinoshin wrote an incredible story when he was here.
Oho is turning it around. Oho's trying his best.
Let's see.
Chiyoshoma comes.
I have Keaton Owaka getting promoted, not thrilled about it, but there's a severe case of the upper stereo shift.
Yeah. Well, we are fans of Chiyoshoma because he was the trickster god.
Yes.
From back in the day, and it was.
We've been watching him a long time.
Yeah, and so it was. He was never gonna go anywhere,
right.
but he
made it interesting.
He was lateral movement all over the place. He'd henka at least once a tournament.
Yeah,
he was the fun boy.
So I don't know about other people and other channels, but we've always liked Chiyoshoma. Though we would joke about the henka.
Yeah,
it was all in jest.
Yes. Well, that's another thing is that like the same people that aren't keen on that kind of a thing
don't like Chiyoshoma.
Like Chiyoshoma's just like this guy's not fighting forward. What's his problem? I'm just like, well,
he used to be a really tiny guy, and he still fights like a really tiny guy. As far as Oho and Taiho, that's my exact point. Hoshoryu could have been just like Oho, and they have this rivalry, so it's just you never know who's going to do it and who's not.
Yeah, I don't see. Did you put who was it? Shishi? We want the fourth person up, Mitch. That's
Shishi.
That's Shuryo 10.
I don't think so.
They have done this before, but
I don't know.
It was in a position where there really wasn't anyone else.
Right.
And there were a lot of people coming. Now, there kind of is. We have this weird...
Well, you have Ryuden.
Well, there's Takayasu and Onosho. Those two in particular, they're basically 0-15.
Right.
So maybe you kick Onosho, and then you're
not going to kick Takayasu.
No. Well, this 15 is all the way at the very bottom. He was high up enough at M3 that he's secured.
I have 4 exchanges this time around. Had to do some major mental gymnastics to make it happen, but that's what I did.
Yeah, I think the 4 is that they kick Onosho out and they put Shishi in.
I don't think so. And where's Goose when you need him? He just despises Shishi, so he'd have a great take right now. When you listen later, Goose, put a comment down about your absolute affection for Shishi.
But all right, so we've got.
Here we go again. Oho is a wonderful soul that must be protected, and I will not stand for any foul speak in his general direction.
He's starting to figure it out.
Hey, forgiveness is given to anyone who earns it.
He got a 9-6 at Mega Share 6.
Okay.
He's back in the blender.
I want him up there competing with Hoshoryu. I think it would be fantastic.
I just love how much it makes him Hoshoryu mad to lose to Oho.
You want to know what else is funny? I'm really loving this Hoshoryu like negative energy that people have about him. Like, there's people who love him, but there's people who hate him, and I'm actually loving that. I'm actually
the divisiveness.
That when it's Takakesho, I get upset, but with Hoshoryu, I love the hate. I think it's beautiful. Please make people hate you more.
Yeah, oh man. So probably not Shimazu Umi, definitely not Shimano Umi. Oh, no. Good to see him again. So it's between Tamashoho and Shishi for who gets the vault over on Onosho, is what we're hearing.
So Mitch has got a comment at the end about that.
Yep, that's what I'm reading. So it's a bit of a... There's going to be a conundrum down here.
Well, there always is. That's what makes this hard. Oh, Goose is here. I hope... Goose, we were talking about Shishi. I hope you heard it. I need a comment about Shishi immediately.
Only permitted a set amount of wins. This is now God's honest truth to me.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. All right.
Okay, let's see. Shishi, love Shishi not happening. Shishi not quite there yet. Since the 2000s, no Maegashira 5 with 0 wins has stayed in the top division.
That's what they think Onosho is going to get the dump.
Well, he might.
It might.
Onokatsu might end up being the highest ranked wrestler in his stable now with Onosho's demotion. Gee. Onosho's been fairly consistent in the top division too, so it's like July really was like a slasher.
Well, a lot of people got injured and fell out of it.
Horror movie. Wakamoto Haru's performance can only be explained with the Waka family are only permitted a set amount of wins permitted per Basho. That's why they keep Wakamoto Haru in the 3rd division. Or Waka Taka Moto in the 3rd division. Hey, you know, there's all kinds of rules in families. We can't always understand them, but we got to respect them, right? Hey, did you notice the thumbnail is the Waka brothers, by the way?
Oh, nice. All right,
Holding
so
up a Banzuke.
we've got a lot of confidence in Tama Shoho.
Anyone who yeets Tobizaru into an expensive seats must be praised for a long period of time. Hey, maybe Oho will get his shot, and then it'll be like the greatest
He's a blaster. Moment. He got force. He can do it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fight.
Exactly. So maybe this is Mitch's dream matchup, Oho and Tobizaru. But also, Tamashoho should probably be promoted if you do 4 promotions, not Shishi. There's no precedent for Shishi's rank record combo being promoted, but 9 and 6. J6 do get promoted uncommonly. 80% Tamashoho over Shishi. And Mitch agrees. I have Tamashoho taking the last spot on the Banzuke.
Yep, they want Tamashoho here.
Boy, this is putting some serious faith in you guys, I'll tell you. I don't know if I believe it, but I also don't care. So
I'm just rolling with it.
Exactly. This is for you guys. It's not a bad guess to think Onosho will stay, but demoting Onosho must be considered. Yeah, I do think it should be considered. The Wakaseki... Oh, I can't read this.
Wakaseki Tori.
Better take care of the Waka Takamoto post-retirement, since he's basically a big reason they were able to get so good, since Waka Takamoto had to work to earn a living for them. Interesting. We need a background on this. I want the full documentary on the Waka brothers.
It'll probably come out, particularly if Waka Takamoto can break into Jiraiya. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, there'll be like NHK
it'll
specials.
It'll be a dime. I know when Waka Takakage was the new hotness, so this was a while ago.
Yeah.
They had a NHK had a thing on him, and then they talked about his brothers. Because I think Wakamoto Haru was in Jiraiya.
Yes.
And then Waka Takakage just shot out.
Right, and it's like he was the younger of the two, so that was like a thing.
Yeah, and then it was a Jiraiya Wakamoto Haru, just like, oh yeah, I gotta catch up to him, and
then all of a sudden, like Wakamoto Haru was in Sanyaku with his brother for a brief blink of an eye, and then the injury
unlocked the power. All right, I kind of
want to see the Waka Bros all have Pac-Man Yutaka. Get it? Waka Waka.
All right, so we gotta.
We'll see. They gotta win first.
6 and 9.
I'm surprised we are. See the little thing in the way?
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of the little heart.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm surprised we are taking.
I'm going with the chat. Just like the chat's talking about the bottom, so let's go down to the bottom. Now I feel like we've had something that resolves a consensus on the bottom. The bottom is still an unholy mess.
Right, but we're
now I'm like, oh, now I'll go back up.
Kind of putting something together that makes a little bit of sense.
Maybe that and then that.
I know it's a little rough there in the middle.
This is something.
Well, like, what do you do with Endo?
It's gonna go up. I hate the little heart.
Yeah, the little heart's a jerk.
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it.
Unless you guys use it to say, I heart this.
Yeah, well, you use it. You can use it to react to things.
Well, that's what it's meant for.
I don't know.
I only care about that if it brings more views. So if it brings more views, hit the heart. Although I have to comment on the fact that our recap got 3,100 views. What in the world is going on?
That is by and large our biggest.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 4 years. We've never come close to that. And then we're going to have to go into the doldrums when we don't come close to that again. Well, at least I will. I don't know. John's a more positive fellow. He keeps this show light. If it was just me, it'd be all doom and gloom. John's like, Maria, slap out of it. And I'm like, okay, John. Okay,
yeah.
I got it. Like, I'm losing it again.
I'll bring my own darkness when it's needed, but...
When you bring the darkness, then I feel the need to get positive. So
he's like, wait.
Balance it out. Your Magashiro 1 through 4 don't entirely
offend me.
I have one flip, but I could be wrong. You are like really starting to get this.
I take what they tell me. This is just the learning montage over an extended period of time.
This is true.
Because this is the third one we've
Third
done.
one. Yep.
So like now I'm like I'm the chat is giving me their energy and their knowledge, and I'm trying to apply it again. We need to talk about the Shodai Wakamoto Haru coin flip, which is this. So you are you thinking this?
I could see that because Shodai is going up 6 spots, and Wakamoto Haru, I feel like they still like him and they want to spare him as much as possible.
Yeah, I can see. I see the demotions being lighter and the promotions being heavier, and that's.
I could see that too. That's like the
it works.
essence of
It
this
works.
Banzuke.
So yeah, well, like all these 7 and 8s are like their little half nudges.
Right.
Just
They can be gentle because enough guys did what they were supposed to do.
yeah.
They only get like crazy when everybody's like failing and they're like, we're gonna punish everybody.
It was this awkward. Everybody gets an 8 and 7 or a 9 and 6. So usually somebody falls out of here, and then it makes us a little bit. Then they tumble down. You're like,
now it's just a matter of like who earned what.
Yeah.
As opposed to, well, we can't make, the Sekiwake go down too far.
We're getting more consensus.
I can't believe
Feeling
this.
it. We're feeling it.
Oh my goodness.
the M2 controversy of May is long past us.
I know. This is nuts. These two are mathematically tied. I actually believe that
Joy bias.
Oh, of course bias will prevail. The question is, can you read their bias?
I think
what do they like?
I think people are reading the bias. Bias
they're doing their best.
They're doing their best
to read the bias.
Yeah, now we have this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oshoma's gonna get lucky. Town Washington's Rogue is gonna rocket.
5.
Rocket ship to Mars. Kageaki, nicely done. Shout out to Omi's spared. This is gonna be no, that's not. No,
that's not gonna happen.
No. You'll be a 2. You'll be here. Oh, now it's weird.
Yeah, now it's getting a little tricky.
Now we're weird. Now I don't know. I'm lost and confused. So Tamasho has to be absolutely at the bottom.
Yes. So that's like your placeholder right
there.
Same with Kitanowaka.
So go like that. Get Kitanowaka by the hair of his chinny chin.
Would Shirokuma go above Takayasu though?
Hang on.
I don't think so.
Duh.
Normally I don't like Joey bias, but last Banzuke showed a big rank difference can still affect things sometimes. Well, I used to love Joey bias, but now it almost doesn't exist. How do you feel about the Shonana Umi freeze?
Ooh, Shonana Umi freeze. He wants to do this.
I'll tell you right now. I'm going to throw some bias in there.
Okay.
No freeze for Shonana Umi. No freeze. He is on the list for at least one Basho. Okay?
He'll He'll just sidestep being demoted. I'm getting a real nasty look from Maria.
I'm not. Don't you talk about Shonana Umi in any sort
No,
of...
I get it.
He needs some demotion energy right now.
When Shirotairu smashed Kisayama out of the top division, he was on my list too. I get you. 100% I get you. Okay. Okay, yeah.
He hankered Takakeisha, but he's still a 7 and 8. Punishment. I want it.
Okay. Sorry guys, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is for my sake. I want to see that negative point.
There's a negative there.
You two can win on the Shonana Umi. We're gonna punish him as he deserves. And then, maybe I'll forgive him after September. I don't hold grudges for too long.
Let him. Yeah, he is a budding prospect. He lost his way. He found it again.
He's just too big to be losing. He needs to use that body better, I have to say.
He starts just using torque and just shut. Yeah, there are pathways to success for him.
Right. He's just got to figure it out. I'm always surprised how big he is, actually. Because I'll look at his record and then I'll watch him fight and I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think there is a bit of stage fright that hits him too. Chura Naomi over Waka not feeling this one. That's easy fix.
Yeah, just slide him right on over.
Yep. That probably makes sense too because Waka he's one behind the U show.
That's true. But that is a huge jump. But Waka Takagi, former Sanyaku.
Yep,
so.
there is that. Endo and Midori Fuji might switch. Last Basho, the same situation happened with Kimbozan and Oshoma, and Kimbozan was ahead. despite losing the traditional tiebreakers. Fine with that.
No one's suggesting anything too controversial.
Yeah.
Here.
Does all make sense to me? Yeah.
Is this going to be an easier one?
Well, we got there faster. I don't know if it was easier.
Yeah. I feel like the last one you were like pulling your hair out of your head.
It was there was some weird. I don't even know what's going on here. We had
because you had to guess like where Asanoyama was.
There was
fall.
a lot. Sanyaku was falling. M2 had it was the Mitakeumi, Wakamoto Aru, and I kept redoing the math, and then the chat was like, "You're doing it wrong." I redid it again, and I
like,
just
swap them. You know, you got the east and west wrong.
So, yeah, that was we had to get there a lot. We had to get there. It was a bit of a thing.
Yeah. But it was funny because I remember at one point, I'm reading the chat and I'm looking at you and you just have your head in your hand.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I don't understand.
I was getting tired. My brain's just like, good night. I'm like, no, I'm still doing it. Come back.
My fingers have to work
I
still.
know. Where did you guys put Ono Show? I have him staying in the top division. So there is
Who has him staying in the top division?
GR Sumo.
Oh, okay. That's the last comment.
All right. Real choice is Chernomi above or below Ura. Ooh.
Let's look. I could see the swap.
Yeah, well, this is what they're doing. I'm only doing this for example purposes. He's going to go right back. But it's like this.
Okay.
And then they were like, are you here or are you there? That's what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting him back. I'm putting him back. So, yeah. So what I will say is that Ura's up.
Above Chernobyl.
Maybe.
Okay. My draft has Endo ahead as well. I'm not confident in breaking what I perceive as the rules.
Endo is ahead? Head of Midori Fuji? Oh, we're talking it over. Yeah.
We'll
so that
see.
the discourse is that Ono Show at M5 with no wins just gets the trap door thrown out on him. And then we have to go down to Tamashoho at 9-6, and then Kitano Waka at 8-7.
But you could see Tamashoho coming up because this is Tamawashi's opportunity.
Yeah.
They might like that whole family members.
Call me on Discord. I want to yell about Shishi.
Okay, we'll have that at a later time there, Goose.
All right. We are not promoting Shishi. He's not making the jump.
Yeah, we've decided Shishi has to stay.
Shishi Onion.
Is Goose actively like rooting against Shishi to ever make the top division? I have Chura over Ura.
Chura over Ura.
Chura over Ura.
So they go like this. I don't know. So we got okay. Is it this or is it this?
I think it might be Chura over Ura. I mean, a 6 and 9. They really only going to demote him one spot. I'm hearing things.
Yeah. So it's nice because you got a +7 from
fault.
Endo and then a +7 for Cherno.
Yeah.
Man, it's kind of nice.
Tamashoho is
More cool and marketable anyway.
that's your bias right there. I don't even know the guy yet.
Shishi is. I think they are like. It's like people want him to do well because he's Ukrainian and he seems to be okay, but I don't know if the man can live up to the hype that's being thrown at him.
Yeah.
I think that's some of it.
Well, I watched some of his matches, and this is the great debate: the Chura and the Ura. Stop talking about Shonan Umi freeze. It's not happening. Done. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Kind of sad that Takanosha deserves to be at Sekiwake, but he is being way under promoted, only M1 +5, and he should be getting +9. We were discussing that he probably, because Sanyaku's so crowded, they're just gonna logjam him, I think.
Yeah, and just keep him out.
Yeah, Tamashoho, I'll give him a try. We're not big the Jurio people. We focus on the top division, but we now are knowing more people in Jurio from them coming up and down, and just sort of the osmosis from the chat.
Right, exactly.
And you guys who do all the proper research and really have you go in there.
Well, it's supposed to be Monster and Mitch getting a Jurio podcast together, but it's not here yet.
Yeah.
So
also another Ura over Chura. Just every time the chat says one or the other, I'm just going to adjust it.
There we go. And then by the end, whoever is the last say is where it's going.
Tamasho has some very excited matches. I'm looking forward to maybe seeing a Makuchi. Chura over Ura, and then the Shonana Umi freeze.
Everything, but we're not touching Shonana Umi. He stays there. But we'll listen to everything else. Got him.
Got him.
Get him. Did you, by the way, just as a side, did you watch Goose's video on defeating?
Oh, with the deadlift?
Yeah.
Yes.
How funny was that? I really wanted to make a comment, but I'm like, I don't know what to say. So I just didn't make a comment. Excellent video skills, sir.
Yeah, I also like Goose's and JJ's take on the recap. They just give everybody clown.
It's a very different approach.
I like it because it is so them.
Yes, it's on brand.
It's their brand. You look at something and be like, that's their flavor.
Yeah, you got to stay true to your brand.
They do. They figured it out.
My style of sumo.
It is, dude. Their Tachi was strong. They just thought one day at a time.
Followed the plan. Just go forward.
They're not even thinking about the Yusha. They're just thinking about the next day.
That's right. If I'm strong, I live. If I'm weak, I die.
Yes.
Oh, did you go somewhere cool, Mitch? I hope so. The shirt said it all. This is the Goose video. Waka Takamoto. See, now I won't know until I get to the end who I'm reading. Waka Takamoto was the first to join Araishio. Because of the Fukushima earthquake, the two younger Waka bros joined with him. Waka Takamoto worked in addition to Sumo to help provide for them.
Oh, wow.
What an excellent brother.
What a badass.
I'm going to put him high in my list of likable guys.
Meisei and Goniyama have the worst demotions on the Banzuke, and they are still under-demoted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I think.
Yeah. Well, actually, they are. Like, they're where the math lays them. But the thing is that, like, there is the weird dead zone, and they just fell right into it.
And that's how that goes. They better pick it up in the next tournament.
Yeah, I feel bad for Meisei, though.
He worked really hard. Can you imagine? Like,
it's so frustrating to watch it.
Your training partner is Hoshoryu, and you're watching him. He's Ozeki. He's heads above the rest, and you have the same heart of like, I want to win, and it's like, no, you're getting a 4-11.
North Carolina, I had to make my triumphant return to TV. Ah!
What kind of TV do you do, Mitch? Is it Sumo TV?
Sumo TV, probably.
Could you imagine us on Sumo TV?
I need to cover the face.
I know, right?
I need to be anonymous.
I would get like some like anime wig. Just
we'll get. Oh no! I'll wear that yellow sumo mascot suit.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll do that.
Well, you know the Japanese would love it. I mean, they're all about dressing up and characters and like.
Yep. We can do the kabuki thing.
Oh, the kabuki thing. Like would be awesome.
Super outfits, dress up.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Which one? What's going on?
Well, I don't know.
Is that John and Maria?"
No one got the joke that I used the duel song from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in the video where he won the duel with the cute guy.
I did, and I was gonna comment that, but then I just didn't know. But I recognized the song instantly. I love that song.
Tamashoho can't get promoted unless Shishi gets promoted because Shishi's record puts him ahead of Tamashoho, but they might just hate Shishi that much. Sorry, Shishi, he just won't make it. Well, Shishi. Well, they say +7, and this whole thing is just a weird. It's a weird ass.
If Shishi had stayed in the Yusho race, and/or was like right behind
Little League softball tournament, he's on ESPN.
Do you work for ESPN, or you were just like hanging out in the crowd?
Could have been hanging out in the crowd.
I need to know more, Mitch. This is a very interesting story. Yes, it has happened before. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't say, "Ugh, are you a fool?" But at the same time, I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm so mad that I didn't make the comment now about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was in the middle of typing it in, got distracted, and didn't hit send. But I was like, "Oh, nice choice of song." And now that he's said it, it's ruined. People won't believe me. Little known fact, I worked for ESPN once.
Once?
In the truck. It was very interesting.
Oh, you were behind the scenes.
Yes, I was runner. They didn't even call me by the name. They're like, runner, we need, what was it? We need a bunch of this crazy battery for these microphones. And I had to go to like 6 different stores because no one had them.
Oh, no.
And they're like, and you have to get back here in 30 minutes. Yeah. But I got to go in the truck. So
got to go in the truck. That is cool. Hot. Well, actually, it's probably hot in there. A lot of electricity.
It was very hot in there, but it was cool. And they never did call me by my name. It was kind of sad.
Tournament umpire.
Whoa, that's
what?
Cool. Is there any way we can watch this after the fact? And we can see what Mitch looks like. Not fair.
Well, he'll have the...
I'll have the...
Yeah.
Hey, so that's what we could dress like.
Yeah, umpire. No. We'll only know if Mitch looks like if he had to throw someone out.
Oh,
like if one of the managers came out and they got into a fight, like they ripped the mouth off and then like they're just yelling at each other and they're 2 inches away from his face and then they point to the stands and the guy goes running. They keep yelling at each other.
I would pay money to see Mitch kick somebody out of a game. That would be awesome. Okay, so...
Correction on my Waka Bro statements. Wakamoto Haru joined after the Fukushima earthquake. Wakataka Kage didn't join, but lived at the stable and only joined after college.
Interesting.
So they lived at the stable because they didn't have a home.
Oh, wow. That is even more incredible.
That earthquake sucked.
Yeah.
Wait, why are Midori, Fuji, and Endo above Meisei and Gonoyama? Uh-oh.
We got to look at it.
Uh-oh. Hang on. I got to go like this.
The 6 works more, I think.
Sure.
All right. Fair enough.
Can't find an update on Hoshoryu's injury besides him pulling out at the beginning of the August tour, but I think Hoshoryu's injury is just minor and taking it easy. I think what the decision was, Hoshoryu wasn't going to win the Yusho.
So why take a risk?
So he's already Kachikoshi. He was 9-3.
Right. So what?
Out of the race, they're like just get a ice pack and sit on the couch for the rest of it, and then bring him back. Like he has been doing this.
Right. This is the second time this year that he did.
Yeah. Well, made the decision of don't go nuts with it. Pull out. You're fine. You'll get it back later. Don't aggravate the injury and make it worse.
I think people have learned a lot from Take Show.
Well, also you look at or is Takeru Fuji.
Yeah.
So
he didn't even have to show up for that one match, and he could have won the whole thing. You know.
He
was hurt at that
so
point.
It's like the past is in the past. Like he made the decision.
Yeah.
He broke a 100-year record. He will
to go down into Jurio.
In a year he'll come out shooting out of a cannon, or he gets to be besties with fellow struggler Hakuoho, who's 11-4 by the way. So he maybe finally figured it out.
Oh please. Hakuoho was my heart. My heart was with him, and now I'm sad. Why doesn't anybody want to make me happy? Somebody make me happy. Oh, here we go.
Very good point. Monster thought something looked weird. Matt's a half rank. He's a Ryuden. Kageaki also Matt's a half rank sided Naomi.
The problem is I don't have ESPN Plus. I don't have any cable, so I have to find everything on YouTube. Or find somebody maybe I'll find somebody who has ESPN Plus and I will look for this.
That's cool to be a Little League umpire, though.
I must research Mitch at this point. He's given us this.
It's a mystique.
It's a mystique. It is. I gotta know somebody who's got ESPN Plus. Maybe my brother. I'll call him up.
Oh, maybe.
See what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a glamorous pastime.
It is a glamorous pastime. Mitch is getting some extra popularity points for me now.
I think this is about as good as it gets for me in terms of glamour.
Yeah.
42 opinions.
42 opinions with our 3,000 views.
Yes.
We're hanging out with the big boys now, John.
Oh man, we hit the algorithm.
Yeah, and we're gonna get kicked right back.
Yeah, probably.
That's
hey,
right.
you get the moment. You take your W where you get them.
I think technically we reached some sort of tier where we're like allowed to get some sort of monetization. Not that we want it, but I just thought that was interesting.
That's interesting. How many until they mail us that plaque?
We have to get 1,000 subscribers. We're halfway there, though.
Oh.
We're halfway there. So we're like
Another 4 years.
Exactly.
We got it. We're
It
good.
did take us 4 years to get 500, so we can't have any higher expectations. The Maegashira 12 area and below is a big...
Yeah, it is a big old mess.
Well, tell us how to fix it, man.
Yeah, Hoshiru's not listening to Uncle quote, numb it up with pain pills. That's what I did back in the day, and I still won the U show. Asashoryu, for him, he's just sitting back and he's just talking game on Twitter. That's all he'll do. And this is part of what Hoshiri was able to do to get out of the shadow.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, look, I'm Ozeki now. I'm going to do it my way.
Exactly. He had to get the Ozeki spot so that he could get out of the shadow. But, just picture Asashoryu as like the old man in the rocking chair with the cane and everyone's sitting around. In my day, we used to shoot fish in a barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all he's doing right now.
Exactly. It's fun. It's funny. Hoshiryu probably laughs about it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pot stirrer. God bless. I mean, we're not telling him to stop. Asashoryu, keep doing these wild tweets.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, keep at it.
I need all the fun, all the drama. I don't have Hulu or Disney, but somebody I know has to have these things. Yeah. So I'm going to track it down. Promoting Thomas Shoho for Ono show simplifies it a bit, but it's still a lot of risk.
It's all just weird.
It's all risk.
It's all weird.
That would be cool, Mitch. Yeah, they'd be like, what is?
Yeah, don't get in trouble for us.
Here's what's funny, right? I have to tell you the part 2 of the story about these people in my dojo who watch Roga.
Mm.
The woman comes up to me and she goes, I just can't get past what they're wearing. She's like, I'm really glad we don't wear that in our dojo. And I'm like, I've been watching sumo for so long, I don't even notice that they're half naked anymore. Just don't even notice. But for the first time viewer, it is a little startling, apparently. Yeah.
Well, you get ahead of the diaper jokes, and then the thing about sumo is that, like, if it clicks with you, it does not take long.
Exactly.
Like you see it, you're like, ooh, this is good.
It clicked for me the very first day that I watched. I watched like 2 matches and I'm like, how do I find more of this? It was on.
We're on very topic this stream. It's sad we haven't had much time to talk about anime or video games or whatever. I mean, we can be off topic.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you want to just shift the topic, go for it. I mean, we're just here to hang out tonight. Of course, they wouldn't give you a mic, Mitch.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They'd be afraid of what you'd say. Hello, is it Jemmy? Hello. Thank you for stopping by. Monster's a hater when it comes to anime and video games, too. We disagree on, like, every anime. He loves certain animes. I'm like, nah, I don't like that one. And then I love certain animes. He's like, meh. So we're just going to fight if he brings up anime. Am I the only one who's not faithful?
I had seen, was it the third Austin Powers where Fat Bastard does sumo wrestling? And so I was sort of just like I didn't. It was all weird foreign nonsense to me, but like I had internalized that was something that they wore.
Well, I'll tell you why it never bothered me, because I grew up watching WWF.
There's that too.
Those guys were always just wearing like underwear and boots. I mean, some had costumes, but as soon as they got in the ring, they pulled them off. So
yeah. And
I was watching that stuff when I was like 7.
That does help.
So I don't think it ever fazed me what sumo wrestlers were wearing. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Whatever. And there was even a Yokozuna in WWF in the 1990s. Although he wore shorts under the mawashi. Because I think it would have been a little tricky.
Yeah, well, that's the amateur sumo look. Like they'll wear the mawashi and then they have
the girls. The girls wear that.
Yeah, too. And then they'll have like we can let the amateur sumo people in chat talk about whether the underwear underneath is valid or not. That was a debate.
Yeah,
that was a debate.
I think we were gonna get into that debate on the amateur sumo thing the other day, but it never happened. Let's see, we're missing a bunch.
Yeah. The half naked is being very liberal about it, more like when I dressed. Should I 8-7 next Basho? Yeah, maybe.
My first tournament and therefore my introduction to sumo after Googling sumo was 3-way playoff in November 2022. That'll get you hooked.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Looking forward to watching Wakataka Kage at the very top. I hope Wakataka Kage goes on a tear.
There's not much that could stop him.
I'm pretty sure Fat Bastard's Twister is very illegal. Just a hunch, though.
Yeah. Well,
remember? I don't remember
well,
it.
so he goes, "What's my favorite Hell Hunt movie?" Twister, and he goes and he grabs it and. So here's the thing: in an actual sumo match, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're just gonna.
You're gonna try that and it's over.
Yeah. Well, then well, first off, the mawashi, like you can't like grab people through it like it's underwear.
Right. So
but
you wouldn't even.
Yeah.
Have...
There've been people that have grabbed that part of the mawashi before at a grapple. I mean, it's a front grip.
Right.
I don't know if you actually do testicular damage, how that affects a match.
Yeah.
Like you would have to
prove it.
Well, you'd have to strike someone hard enough.
Right.
And then at that point, then you're striking. You can't kick above can't kick above the knees.
Right. So
no punches or elbows. So you'd be disqualified by just the act of having to do. I can't believe I'm breaking this down.
Right.
Thanks, Mitch.
Well, you're the one who brought up Fat Bastard. So.
That was the one. Yeah, that was the one. It was Abi versus Takakeisho versus Takayasu. Was that 3-way?
And Takakeisho lost to Abi, which pains me. Oh, pains. Costumes are so much cooler than underwear and boots. Yeah, they are. But like I said, I got used to it. Back when Nato was on YouTube.
Oh man, yeah, they chased him out of town.
Yeah, they chased him off of every platform that's ever existed, including like the back alley ones. I got used to it rather quickly. Ura is ravishing Rick Rude. No, Ura is not ravishing Rick Rude. Did you ever?
That's
watch?
old school. That's a bit before my time.
Okay, so I'm old. Ravishing Rick Rude was just. He was so over the top. We're just gonna put it that way.
I'm trying to think. When I watched it, it was.
He had like a handlebar mustache, long hair.
Mankind.
Yeah, Mankind.
Rock, Triple H.
So you're the Attitude Era. So
yes.
1998.
It's about there.
Rick Rude was like 94, 95. Yeah, 94,
a few years before my time then.
Yeah, I've been watching since the 80s. Now I'm dating myself. Oh well, I don't care. Let's see. Boo underwear plus mawashi is cowardly.
It's amateur. Let the amateur people. If you're doing professional sumo, then obviously you can't do the underwear.
Right. There are two things to get over when starting to watch sumo: the mawashi and the man boobs, especially Aoyama's. Once again, if you watch, WWF, you don't even notice. Kotonowaka's moves are worse than Aoyama's, in my opinion. This is an interesting topic. I wonder what Hoshiryu is like behind stable doors. On the dohyo, Hoshiryu is serious, but off the dohyo, he's their funniest and kindest sumo in the Banzuke. Man, what a character. You gotta love him. There's a story about him where I can't remember the wrestler now, but he accidentally hurt him, and he wound up in the hospital just like out of precaution. And Hoshiryu went to the hospital to deeply apologize. Hoshiryu is that guy. He's like... He really is like, he's just so there. He's like right next to Takakeisho. Like, there's so many layers. He's like the tough guy in the ring, but he's a softie and he's also funny. He's like all around great. And he's like one of the most skilled guys that we've seen in a long time.
Maybe 2025 at this rate, but he'll get there.
I want to see Yokozuna Hoshiryu so bad. Konishiki said it was impossible to grab the balls through the mawashi because it was too thick. He mentioned that when they asked him about the Austin Powers sumo scene. There's got to be an interview on the internet about this.
The Konishiki in particular, I think, did a lot of the Western media rounds for that kind of a thing. I know also there's a lot of series of take a movie or take a type of thing and then you have an expert that analyzes it. Yeah. So they probably took Konishiki and like sumo wrestler reacts to sumo movies.
Right, and they probably showed him a bunch of different.
Yeah, and then he was just like, oh yeah, this is all crap. It's fun. It's good content if you want it.
Of course. I mean, why wouldn't you watch that? The others never bothered me. Do you guys think Mitake Yumi is just going to slowly drop little by little and go away? I don't think he's going away. He's Mr. Salaryman. He stayed in the Sanyaku forever until he unfortunately became Ozeki, which then cursed him. I feel like he will hang in there for a long time, and I think he's going to get at least another U show.
Yeah, he's making a comeback.
He's back to back a lot.
Yeah, so he was working through it. But so there may be a future for it. I'm now wondering why the Kimirite would only be if you threw Ayama by his... That would be that would be some sort of like a body pull down.
Could you even do that? Are you allowed to grab the skin like that?
I don't know what kind. Well, he's got the surface area, so maybe you do have the leverage, but but it would be like you grab like beltless pull down.
It would be something like that.
But I think that's the serious answer to a very silly question that I love.
Yeah. So back to Mitaki Yumi. He's probably gonna stick around.
He's gonna stick around. He is making a gun for it. So I mean, he's been saying that he's been wanting to do this for a while, but now he's finally making true on that. And he was at M2 and now he's at M3, so like he's still in it.
He's gonna hang.
He's
around.
making it back. I am curious how high this resurgence will be. I also like how Shodai sort of just accidentally caught back up to him, and for a while I'm like,
they stick to each other like glue.
It's because for like Mitaki was making the push back, and he's sort of just like he's gotten it together. He's just like, okay, Mitaki was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna make another try, and Shodai's just like, eh.
Shodai's kind of like Mitaki Yumi's puppy.
It's a weird thing.
He's like, no, you just gotta stay with me. Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like he would like they were 2-10. I'm like, Shodai is just coasting.
Yeah.
And now they're duct taped back together again.
Makes you almost wonder, like, does Shodai take the spot, the Maegashira 3 spot?
It'll be a little wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought that before, but now he's Maegashira 2.
What do I know?
Exactly. I love that Hosh is a nerd who used to love doing Rubik's Cube. See? He's a nerd, too. There's nothing wrong with Hoshoryu. He's the perfect sumo wrestler.
Yep. It was a sumo react thing.
Oh, I bet.
He actually said was realistic. Interesting. Or for Takayasu and Mitaki Yumi, they don't seem to be able to hang anymore.
Not Takayasu.
Takayasu can't make it the full 15 these days.
He's just really, really beat up.
Yeah, but look at Takayasu down here.
If all goes well.
Special prize.
Yeah.
Easy special
he should
prize.
Be able to clean house. I mean, come on.
Bad news, Shirakuma. The other bear's gonna maul you.
Oh, yes. I want to see the bears fight. I remember Ryuden grabbed Aoyama's left move when he couldn't reach the Mawashi. Jeez. Mitaki Yumi is kind of like Shodai to me and will end up somewhere between 1 and 14 wins every Basho. They are very similar.
I think like when they both were Ozeki, like they were bound by fate.
Yeah.
And like they'll move away from each other, but then unseen forces
pull them right. It's like the threads in your name. They just they take you through time. It's so sad that Mitaki Yumi is an eternal duo status with Shodai now.
He must be so much more than Shodai.
I know. He's probably like, what is happening to my life? The forbidden Opai Yotsu style. Oh, jeez. Goose. Fat Bastard's Twister on SMSS. We call it the Ouchie Kochi.
Ouchie Kochi.
I like it. We know which bear is strongest. It's just whether he will be there. Exactly, Jenny.
Well, 2 months to heal the pectoral.
But his back's got to not
back,
start.
And his back and his... Yeah, it's everything.
We really just never know if Takayasu's going to show up. And yet, Takakeisha will still probably retire before Takayasu.
Oh, at this rate, yeah.
That's the tragedy in all of this. I got to keep bringing it down. You know, we're having a good time, and I'm like, I feel like crying again. So I'm just going to bring it down. What kind of grab are we talking? The kind of grab that's going to accomplish something, or just kind of holding it so it stays in place so it doesn't hit him in the face? If you're that close, you're probably going to lose the match. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, you don't want to get in there.
Yeah, you probably want to just, beltless arm throw.
Do a trip.
So if we do this 42 Opinions Japan trip someday that we always fantasize about, I want to see Mitch get in the ring and do a sumo match with somebody, preferably Tobizaru.
Oh my goodness.
So Daniel sent a bunch of pictures to me because I'm going to be doing the Takakeisho tribute at some point. And he sent me a picture with Tobizaru that I'm like, yeah, I can't put that on YouTube. Nope. I think Tobizaru is exactly the same person outside of the ring as he is inside of the ring, which means he would probably have a lot of fun trolling Mitch. Like, he would get glee in his eye. So just be careful, Mitch. Maybe you don't want to meet Tobizaru.
Tobizaru is one of those like fan-facing people too. So
he is.
If people go up to him and be like, there are these weird Americans that want to do a play fight with you, he'll be like, all right.
He would probably like do something crazy.
Maybe.
And he would smile at you as you're on the ground. Like he's that kind of guy. Oh, we're getting some smiley face reactions. Yeah. As long as it gets his views, yeah. I don't know who's doing that, but that's a lot of smiley faces. This is Aoyama we're talking here. He's like 50 years old. I don't think he's gonna do much up close.
I mean, if you get him in a grapple, there's not much he could do.
He might grunt in your face and just I think Tobizaro would like to meet Mitch though. Here's the funny story. I actually think Mitch and Tobizaro would be like best friends. If he really got to know Tobizaro, he'd be like, I am sorry for everything I've ever said. You are the man.
I don't think he'd apologize, but...
He wouldn't apologize. But he would want to hang out with Tobizaro, I think.
He'd be like, you know what? We're fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're cool. You just got to meet.
You know, like how cats are fighting and then the cats just decide stop to fight.
Yeah.
You're like, you guys were going at it tooth and nail, and then you just gave up in the middle of the fight.
It's like, yeah, it's not worth it. Who are the likeliest to retire soon due to age, injury, or both? Well, our top candidates are Terunofuji and Takikeisho.
Yep.
It's really a race to see who will retire first.
In the people also to retire from the top division.
Right. I mean, there's Sado Naomi, but
they'll for a lot of these people, the faders down here, like they'll go down to Juryo before they retire.
Right.
Yeah. So the thing is that for immediate retirement, it would be the people all the way up here.
Right. And so I'm guessing, as sad as it may be, Takikeisho is probably the next to retire. He will be, if that happens and he becomes a stable master, he will be under 30 years old. So he'll be 28. And then he will be on the same line as Hakaku. Hakaku was a young stable master. He had to retire in his 20s. This is something I just found out about.
Interesting.
So maybe Takikeisho's future is like running the whole thing. You never know.
Mike is echoing. Okay, I'm going to move back a bit.
What is the emoji? This is a dumb feature for the website. This is what exists on YouTube. Ask YouTube. I don't know.
They like you do emote reactions to things to have chat engagement. It's a young person thing.
Yeah, we're not young, so we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Takikeisho. I forgot about him right now. Yeah, maybe, every once in a while I should remind everybody as we look at the Sekiwaki spot that I feel like I've been stabbed.
Papayasu retire if he goes to Juryo.
I don't know.
I think he'll
he dropped out of Ozeki and he's still here.
He's still here.
He's not quitting. Whereas Takikeisho, he's got that pride thing. He is not going to be a Maegashira wrestler. He's just going to go. I don't want to see these under 35-ish guys retiring. The thing about Takikeisho is, and there will be so many more videos to come when they retire. I've already started collecting things for the Takikeisho tributes. He's got just too severe of an injury to keep fighting. I am sure doctors have told him you need to quit. I am 100% confident.
Well, they're like, you need this surgery, and then this surgery is going to be like 6 months to 9 months of recovery. It's just going to dump him out of it.
Right. So they're like, you can't keep fighting like this in this condition. And Takikeisho says, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you might kill yourself or become paralyzed. It's not a good idea. Well, let's just see how far I can go.
We're just like, okay, here's some painkillers. Don't go in with your neck.
Like, I was saying this on the Takikeisho live stream, and I'll say it again. The reason he's lost power isn't just because he can't go head first in the Tachiai. When you have a neck problem like he has, you have pain shooting from your shoulders into your arms. It's probably very painful to even be alive. And he's going to go out there and fight. I don't know how he does it. A part of me thinks like, wow, he's so admirable. He's so tough. And the other part of me is like, you're insane. Like, just retire, dude. And of course, I don't want him to retire because I want to see him, but I also don't want him to become paralyzed.
If you're in the top 42, you are insane.
True. Because everybody's putting their life on the line, basically.
Yeah. Now, also something else to keep in mind, like if you're in the bottom 42, you are also insane.
Right, because you're getting beat up for no money.
These are people who are sacrificing their bodies for the greater good.
And as I, also said in that Takekisho live stream, he's been doing this since he was in 3rd grade and was dreaming of being Yokozuna, and he has all his classmates saying, "You're too short. You can't do it." So he's going to do this until he
can't.
Until he can't. You will have to drag his body out of the dojo.
Probably.
Or getting demoted out of Sanyaku. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Enho lost all feeling in his body one time. These injuries can be scary.
Yeah, Enho also insane. But we know this about Enho because he loves sumo. He absolutely loves it. He is fighting to try to get Elder Stock. He has to get that tournament in Jurio. But I heard there was a loophole.
Well, it may be a... They just say close enough.
Right. I think that there may be a path for him, but I also think that he loves sumo and he's not ready. Kaku retired at 29 and branched out from Kokonoe to start his stable at 30. Yeah, so Takekisho would be younger than Hakaku, and he'd be around for a long time. And even more interesting, he'd be a stable master at the same time as Hakuho and Kakuryu and Kisano Sato, the guys he had been chasing all this time. How great would it be to get his revenge finally by just raising up a future Ozeki quicker than them? Maybe a long shot, but something.
Well, it'll be in a few years. I mean, he's still fighting, so he has to.
Yes.
He has to actually retire. He'll pick up the elder stock. He'll build up the clientele, and then again, then we're already starting to see. Here's somebody from Goeido's crew. Mm-hmm. Here's somebody from Kiseno Sato's crew, and they're coming together.
We were gonna have Hakuho crew, but that hasn't worked out.
The clouds are parting on that a little bit. I think in a few more tournaments they'll be like, okay, you can go now.
Right.
And then
let's see how the future.
Let's see how it is. I
think might be interesting.
If the tension didn't break those reeds by now.
Yeah.
I think Hakuho made his course corrections.
Well, the interesting thing about Takekisho is, at least as far as I know, I better be knocking on wood, he's scandal free. So he has a possibility that they throw all sorts of like...
He's Japanese born.
Yep.
Kept his nose clean.
Yep.
Rode the turbulent waves of the whole Takanohana, Takanoiwa, all that. He's just like, I'm just going to do my thing. He got collateral damage from it, but he just kept going.
Yep.
And he kept sumo together for 5 years.
Right, and he has no
quarrels,
no fights.
He's married into sumo blood.
He inherited a dohyo.
So he's,
of course, it's supposedly unlucky because the stable master died at a young age. However, if he turns the bad luck around, then they're going to be throwing money at him.
Yeah, in a few years, he'll build it up. And also, like, Takekisho is not the kind of guy who's going to go make waves and go cause more scandals on his own. So he'll build it up, and it'll be the slow, steady, and then it'll be like Then you get to see it. Then you get to see him hamster plop down in the judges.
Yes.
Like 200 pounds. I mean, he's still. I feel like he's still going to sit down the same way.
Probably because
as a judge.
That's his energy.
Yeah.
That's not the weight. That's his energy.
That's the way it is.
Okay, so we're losing all this chat.
Right.
Terunofuji should also retire. Got his 10th. Like I said, it's a battle of will Takekisho or Terunofuji retire first. Slight chance that Terunofuji retires before September, but I have a feeling he's going to stick out the rest of the year. Enho is insane because he doesn't like hot food. Yeah, apparently he doesn't like most of the food that they do in the stables, and that's why he's small. Leo says he does not think there is a loophole. I don't actually know. I just throw things out there. Like, for real, that's about 75% of the prepared food. I could see Takekisho retiring and then taking over Tokiwayama stable when the current stable master has to succeed the stable in about a year and a half. Oh, that's pretty close, actually. I would say Enho respects Hakuho more than he loves sumo. He is super loyal to Hakuho and wants to coach by him in Ishira. That's definitely true as well. Maybe someone in the chat knows how can I watch a real sumo practice in Japan.
There will be all stable sumo practices that will show up, and
they're under the official Grand Sumo channel, so it's in Japanese.
Yep.
So you got to kind of mess around. Actually, Go into 42 Opinions, and if you can see our subscriptions, we are subscribed to it.
Yep.
It's a face of a little yellow mascot.
There are certain stables that are starting to publish their training sessions online. And so if you go through YouTube and social media, I know one of the more popular ones is Sumo Food.
Yeah, Sumo
and now
Food.
they're more like the cooking and the hanging out and less of the training, but there is training in there.
And if you click on Sumo Food, then it's going to start suggesting the other ones to you. So try Sumo Food as your gateway in. According to tabloids, so take it with a grain of salt. Takakesho has the Minatoko.
I think he's got some elder
buddies.
Stocks
Yes.
lined up.
Would be amazing to see Takakesho as a judge, especially because he does that eyebrow raise thing. I would love to see that right before Monoi, when he just raises the eyebrow. There are tickets you can buy, Jemmy, like going to a theme park. Not sure which stables, though. That's if you
want to see it in person.
Japan, yeah. My issue is going to be, where is Enho going to find a stock? It's not like these things are growing on trees, and he's not going to get an auto buffer like Gokuzuna and Ozeki. Whether there's a will, there's a way. Ishiura's dad is pretty connected, so maybe Ishiura's dad can help.
Maybe another reason why he's holding out.
Yeah, staying close to the guys who've got some connections. I heard it's not that hard to get access to certain stables' practice sessions if you just ask. Probably should research which ones. There's actually sumo stable tours. You can go online and actually pay to go to a sumo stable as part of your like package to Japan. So search that. You can actually buy that right online in English. I know a soccer player who hates the taste of water. Okay, I don't know that. Is this Cristiano Ronaldo again? Some people tell me water doesn't taste like anything. That's dumb. Water tastes like water, obviously. Futa Goiana stable posts full practice sessions sometimes. They did one a couple weeks ago. Sumo Food Channel.
Yeah, that's Sumo Food Channel. Yeah, I think, was it Abi's? One is Sumo Prime.
Or something.
Sumo Prime Time. Shout out to Sumo Prime Time. They've done a few pieces in the past involving other stables, and with a highlight on the wrestlers usually. Like they went to Kakuryu's. Yep. They went to the one where Abi is.
They went to Takakesho's actually.
Yep. So if you go through their backlog, you may be able to see a few names, and they may mention the social media. But yeah, so it is. It's
everywhere.
It's everywhere if you do digging.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately, it's not a go to this place and it's just there forever.
You dig enough, and you start getting things suggested to you. Not even remotely close to being as famous as Ronaldo. I feel bad for Koga and Futakayama. He loses literally every single practice bout. Ishira had to essentially have Hakuho buy out their former stable master to get Magaki stock. I really think that his connections will only go so far. That's true. Well, maybe Enho has to wait for, I don't know, like if you leave Sumo without elder stock, can you get back in?
There's a grace period.
Okay, so you got like a ticking time.
And the grace period is contingent on your rank. So I think for Enho, I don't think Enho broke Sanyaku.
No, I don't think he did.
So he would need.
He's low man in the totem pole.
I think he would need to have the stock on him when he retires.
Jeez. So he's got to keep fighting then.
Compared to Hako and Kakuryu when they retired because they were former Yokozunas, they had the 5-year buffer to figure it all out.
They already had it. They already had, not Kakuryu, but Hako already had.
Yeah, Kakuryu, I think he had to go figure it out. Yeah. Hako had something in his back pocket. Up until then, you could be a sumo elder on your Yokozuna name. Right. But they did away with that too.
Because of Takanohana.
Yeah.
Let's see. I find it funny how Takakesho does very lazy Shiko before his matches, but in the training videos on the stable on the JSA YouTube channel, he does a very focused good Shiko. I mean, Shiko is, not everybody enjoys it. We'll put it that way. That's not to make excuses, but no, once you're out, that's it.
Yep.
Why is JC?
This is once you retire, that is it. There's no backsies. Yep. There's no coming out of retirement. There's no comeback shows.
You can't be Yokozuna, retire,
Yep.
and be Yokozuna again.
It's not like you're gonna say, "Oh no, I'm done with football," and then 2 years later you're on the Buccaneers.
Right. I know. How many times has that happened?
So it's there is a no coming back kind of a thing.
Why are they so strict? Well, it's a Japanese thing.
It's tradition.
Yeah, tradition. And tradition is very important in Japan, and it's the double-edged sword of some people just rail against it and they're like, man, if we could just change things. But tradition is also why we love sumo. So it's the double-edged sword.
Yep.
Tradition can really be a great thing, and it can really hurt you.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find Enho.
That's where you see some people borrow stocks and bounce around names for a while until they acquire a permanent name. Yes, I have seen that. And even Hakuho, he first was Magaki until his stable master officially retired, and then now I've forgotten it. What's Hakuho's name now?
Miyagino.
Miyagino. My goodness. This is what starts to happen to me after a while. I lose my mind. Yeah, Enho, I think he made it up to Maegashira 4. Are you checking this?
I'm going to go on Sumo database.
I understand no coming back to wrestling, but I'm talking about even the coaching elder stock aspect. You can't leave GSA and then come back and get elder stock. Yeah, it's harsh. I completely agree with you, but like I said, I think it's just a tradition thing. Maegashira
5. 4.
4. Yep,
4.
It was 4. I said it. Yokozuna can use their ring name for 5 years post-retirement before needing to get a permanent name. Ozeki get the same treatment for a 3-year period. I am never calling Takekeisho something else. So he can get whatever name he wants if he's Takekeisho. I wonder if the PR position in the JSA runs Sumo Primetime. They have posted less content since Shibatayama became head of the Sumo school and Sadada Kake became head of PR. I don't think they run it, but I think that they... I think it's Hiro's side project.
NHK, I think, does it.
Yeah. So they have influence on it. They could say stuff hey, you don't need to do so many, or we're not going to grant you access.
Yeah. It's also whatever Hiro is going on with.
And Hiro's super busy, so maybe Hiro's the one who's
he does. There are sometimes just content ebbs and flows. Yeah. I've noticed.
Right when he got all those subscribers, he disappeared, unfortunately. I'm still salty about how ungrateful people were for the Oshoma video on that channel. I have to say that that's just the internet. I don't really like when people say salty things on videos. Even if you don't like something, just don't say anything. It's not necessary. Yeah. And Sumo Primetime gets a lot of negative comments from people that
it's become sort of the suggestion box for people because it's
Hiro opened it up.
So and it is also whenever any scandal or grievance hits, they go there because they know that somebody from NHK Sumo Association is going to read it.
It kind of embarrasses me a little bit, even though they're probably not all American, but I'm like, man, you make us English speakers look really bad.
I'm pretty sure it's worse in Japan.
You think so? Probably. They speak in a different way. They're more subtle about it. I missed you guys talking about Abi. He's my favorite so far. I'll say this about Abi. Abi is trying so hard to live up to he's grieving his stable master. He's trying so hard to live up to his his stable master's legacy and the way that he taught him. And Abi is full of heart. I have to.
He's turning it around. He's
trying so hard.
He is evolving his self.
Yeah. He's become a very different man since the prankster who kept getting in trouble. That's for sure.
Yeah, he is turning into a man before our very eyes, and
yeah,
it's nice.
He's
and
kind of beat up. I think that's where the Eaton 7 came from. His elbows look a little rough.
Yeah, well, he's also he's getting up there in years.
Yeah, how old is he now?
How old are you, Abi?
So you should go find what is it?
30 this year.
What is it? I can't read it. His stable.
Oh, right. Shikoroyama.
Oh, so go to the Shikoroyama YouTube page. You'll get to see them celebrating Abi's birthday and everything. It's super cool. Hakuho actually owned the Magaki name. It wasn't a loaner. He's just swapped names with Miyagi-No just before he was to retire. I knew that, so I misspoke. All I was saying is his name changed because he wanted the Miyagi-No one. I knew that he owned the Magaki name. Yeah, people hate on it because they like to hate.
Negativity on the internet.
Yeah, we're doing such good things on the internet at this moment, but sometimes the internet makes me question why we have the internet. It just makes people crazy. At least you don't need Elder Stock to be a coach. Konishiki is no longer in the JSA, but he still coaches. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
for Musashi Maru. So that's cool. I was kind of hoping that was the case, but I didn't know.
Yeah, there are some people that they stick around. Kaisei's like that, I think. Actually, no, he may be or he was like that when he retired.
Okay.
I don't know if he has elder stock. Also, like some people that have an elder stock, like they're a coach underneath someone else.
Right.
That may be like a ranking, pay your dues kind of a thing.
I'm still waiting to see who's going to take Isegahama. Because, at first it was, no-brainer that it was Terunofuji. But then I heard they had a falling out. And now I'm waiting for that drama.
I think it's still
going to be Terunofuji.
I still think it's going to be Terunofuji.
I like the name Isegahama, actually.
I think what will happen is that Isegahama retires in next year. Terunofuji inherits Isegahama, and Hakuho gets to be his own thing. And
then those two are friendly rivals.
Yeah.
I mean, that big, grab him and kiss him on the cheek after that show. I'm like,
that
whoa, what's going on here? They're friends now. Let's see. Okay. Abi has an outside chance of becoming Ozeki. He has won a Yusho. He has been hanging out in Sanyaku, but he's got to evolve a little bit, and he's got to become more consistent. Sumo Primetime is basically Hiro's labor of love and trying to get expanded to English speakers. Poor Hiro. I wonder what Asashoryu will do when Hoshoryu makes Yokozuna. He'll be like, I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I did it faster.
And I knew he was going to do it. I mean,
yeah.
He is my prodigy. Yep. Forget my brother, whose son he actually is. Let's see. Japanese people speak more subtle in person, but they can be direct online and anonymous. Okay. Fair enough. Konishiki coaching at Musashigawa would be kind of weird if he were still in the JSA. Kaisei has the Tomozuna stock. Yes, he does. Akebono used to coach without elder stock at his old stable. Okay. These are things I didn't know. What will Hoshoryu be as a stable master?
Too early to say.
Way too early to say because he should have years on his career. Yes, Kaisei has elder stock. The sooner Hakuho gets his stable back, the better, honestly. Not enough new recruits. He'll be back. Isn't Hakuho like the Rising Phoenix or something? Like the name... I think it's
White Phoenix. Yeah.
White Phoenix. How ironic. He'll be back. I don't want to stop the non-Banzuke talk, but to get to the Maegashira 12 travesty, Ryuden should be below Hokuto Fuji and Nishikigi at least, but above Takayasu. I guess we're going to get serious again. Akebono had used the 5-year period and was Akebono Oyakata for a short time. I'm guessing he did some stuff later after leaving the JSA entirely. Konishiki hangs around with Musashi Maru because they both Hawaiians, and I think they just want to maintain that connection. Ironic since Konishiki said that Musashi Maru rarely interacted with him. Everything changes once you're done. Now you can be relaxed. When they were wrestling since they were part of different stables. Exactly, but now they can relax and just chill. Since Terunofuji is a Dai Yokozuna, he can choose to be Terunofuji Oyakata. Search it up if you don't believe me. They can take that right away. They took it away from Hakuho. Hakuho was supposed to be Hakuho, and they took it away. So, I don't think Terunofuji's going to get it. Hakuho Show means White Phoenix Fly. See?
I don't get this M12 thing that he's saying because
you gotta reread that.
Ryuden should be below Hokuto Fuji and above Takayasu.
So Hokuto Fuji, what?
But Hokuto Fuji, like he could be here, but then he's -1 with a 6 and 9.
Doubtful.
I just don't understand the math.
Yeah, get a little more specific here. Put like Maegashira numbers.
Well, maybe not that. So like, hang on, I just gotta reread this. Below Hokutofuji and Nishikigi. So I go like this maybe, but then Nishikigi. Then he's only dropping 1 on a.
No way.
I don't. There's something I'm missing here. Something I'm missing. Anyway, Hokuseiho is the fall guy, so Hakuho can get Isagama stock.
Could you imagine?
It's wild.
I wonder what Hokuseiho is doing right now. Chilling up in Hokkaido. I think that's where he was from. They're like, you are staying on the farm, boy.
Ryuden math to M17, Hokutofuji Nishikigi math to 16.
Sorry for the negative comment, but the JSA is anti-Mongolian bias. Here's the truth, though.
So does
They
Japan.
they can be as anti-Mongolian as they want. The Mongolians have taken over sumo, and that's just the truth. I don't give an opinion either way, whether that's a good thing or not, but they have to cooperate with them because Terunofuji's Mongolian, Hoshoryu's Mongolian, Hakuho, Kakuryu, Hatomafuji, Asashoryu. I mean, it's the top guys are coming from Mongolia. Just what it is. I have Nishikigi and Ryuden at Maegashira 14.
So then I'm trying to get this figured out.
Musashimaru said he is less fluent in English than Japanese as he spoke mainly whatever language they speak in American Samoa before going to Hawaii. Well, Hawaii's closer to Japan than mainland America. Like, the heart of America, anyway. I mean, it's probably... I don't know how far it is from Hawaii to California versus Hawaii to Japan. In my Banzuke, I have Onokatsu at Maegashira 13 to push Hokuto Fuji, Nishiki Fuji to get pushed down a bit. Can you do the same with Shira?
Okay, so maybe you do this to then shuffle everybody down?
I want American Yokozunas to return. Bring back Akabona Musashimaru era.
I think there's a couple of American people in sumo, but like they're all
so young.
They're all in the chaff.
It'll take like 20 years before you may see another American. 10 or 20 years. Hokuseiho opened a wallet gluing store in Hokkaido.
I just hope Hokuseiho gets help. That this is a turning point for him. Like
he's a young man. You don't want your whole life to go down the tubes. I mean, he really. In a country like Japan, where your name means everything, he's really got to be feeling some hard. I mean, what he did to just get kicked out like that had to have been horrible. Yeah, and he was under Hakuho, so he lost an opportunity to be with the greatest of all time. He's kicked out of sumo, and he gets to be tied to hurting Hakuho, which is going to bring even more ire on him. His life is probably pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, he did it to himself.
He did it to himself, but he's like, not. I mean, you're still an adult.
Yeah, it is.
But he's 20 years old.
These kids are so young.
They get into these stables at 15. You know, so there needs to be some mercy.
Well, it's just. I hope for him he can find a path out.
Yeah, and not go down a dark.
Grow from this.
Don't become a pure villain after this. Watch Hokuseiho become an amateur in America like Wakano and, I can't ever say the Egyptian's name, Osunarashi. I don't know. I think Hokuseiho is probably going to stay away from sumo. My current Maegashira 14 is Nishikigi and Shirakuma, but I'm considering Ryuden at Maegashira 14. Ryuden is at Maegashira 14 right now.
I guess they do...
I agree, Monster. I don't think Shirakuma will go ahead of much of anyone, though. Who is either Mongolian or Japanese in the top? So, if you're talking about the actual top, Terano Fuji and Hoshoryu are Mongolian.
I made a mess of this. I forgot where everybody was.
You'll have to reread it.
Ugh.
Abi is Japanese. Daisho is Japanese. Onosato is Japanese? Pretty sure Onosato is Japanese. Yeah, he's from that town that got hit by the earthquake. Right now there's some Japanese, but for a while it was all Mongolians. Tamawashi's Mongolian. Musashi Maru's nephew is joining his stable and is in sumo school. Ooh, interesting. 1 second, I'm sorry I'm so late, but I do have some suggestions. Just give me a second to pull it up. Please, suggestions are welcomed. I think it's his second nephew who's done it since his first nephew retired. Pop quiz. What recently retired wrestler is using the same elder name as Konishiki when he retired? Bonus points for giving the elder name as well.
Chionokuni.
I would know none of this, so...
I don't know any of this. I'm reading.
Yeah.
I'm reading off the chat.
You guys guess. We don't guess this. We're not experts.
Mega
in
Mantra. It looks like I'm thinking that he was going to say Chio no Kuni, unless there's a Chio no Kunin
right.
as well, which just, I'm out.
Yeah. This is the part of the night where I can't read anymore because it's a black background. I want to find a way to change that if possible. Us glasses people. Did you used to be a glasses person?
Yeah,
You
I
got
did
laser?
LASIK.
Yeah, okay. No more Georgian. Yeah, I don't think there are any more Georgians. Gagamaru's gone. Tochinoshin's gone. Bingo, Chionokuni.
Yep.
I won't deduct points for spelling since I know what you meant. Interesting. Didn't know that. Did not know that.
I see Chio no Kuni hanging out in the back every once in a while.
I never catch him. I need to catch him. It's really sad when some of these guys retire because they just... You knew the potential was there and it just didn't come.
Oh, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Sumo is not kind.
It's not. It is a combat sport, I've been told.
Yes, full contact.
So how's this Guess the Banzuke looking, guys? Do we have more? I know we're waiting for GR
Yeah,
Sumo.
Yeah, I think...
Does anybody else have some gripes with the choices?
Looking through it. We're,
It just seemed like it was a little too easy.
Well, I think I was mostly good down here. It's just...
A little bit of tweaking.
A little bit of tweaking because there's some people that were sort of over-promoted, and then there's some people who are under-demoted.
Right, and you want to get that right balance.
And, like, you look at Nishikigi's 5 and 10, he's 2.5.
Here's the question, though. There's usually one hold, isn't there? Is there anybody who could possibly hold besides Shonana Umi?
Okay, you said that, so no.
Wow, is he really the only one?
Well, the thing is that Tobizaru, Oho, and Takanosho were pushing up. And so Mitakeumi and Tamafuji had to take the half down. But there's only 4 7 and 8s, 5 7 and 8s actually. And they're all taking half rung knocks instead of a full rung.
Okay. Well, we're keeping it. We're keeping it.
Can you scroll down to Jurio for a sec? Here's Jurio. Honestly, looking pretty good. Yes, thank you, Monster.
Wow, that's the first time
Getting
I've
there,
heard that.
getting there. Well, usually it takes him a half hour yelling at me before we get there. Now it was only like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're getting it down.
Yeah, he was like, "All right, John, you listen.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll change no matter what we guess. Of course, they're gonna do something weird that you're like, what?
Change the rules no matter what we guess.
I thought it was rules, but
It was blocked by the heart.
This is what happens to me every live stream. Whatever the newest comment is, I'm like, keep commenting.
Yeah,
guys. I can't
you got it. Yeah, if you do the mouse over, you can sort of see behind it, like through the animation, if you really quick. I think Shirakumo will go that high, but I'm welcome to be wrong. All right, so
who would he swap with?
Be like that, maybe.
Could do that.
Ryuden once again getting merciful. He's supposed to knock down 9 from this. He's getting 6.5.
I know, right? I still believe that we should keep Onosho.
I think Shirokuma M15.
No, I don't. I don't.
Ono show. Yeah, we had talked this over earlier in the show that if you're five, I think if you're Mega Shiro 5 and you get a full 0 and 15.
Right, then you would go
That's
down.
yeah. Well, they had, Monster brought up that like ever since 2000, no
Yeah.
one's been spared.
What's wrong with 15 versus 14? This is always tricky.
This
Because
is
he
like
was
a
Jurio 8.
yeah.
So you can't picture him going too high, but he did win the U show.
you got that's the thing. It's the U
That's what
show.
throws it off.
It's the U show. It's a polar bear.
Tamashoho gang for life. I really want to see Tamashoho.
Well, there he is. He's last
I
rung.
hope that happens. I wonder if we'll see another European-born Gagamaru, Tochinoshin, Takanoyama, Baruto, Kota Oshu, Kokai, Roho, Aran, Aru. Well, the Ukrainian guys are the newest thing, and then you have Kimbozan is from Kazakhstan, so maybe it's something. It always shifts. Like for a while, it was the Americans in Hawaii, and then they just completely disappeared, and then came the Europeans. And then came the Mongolians. And I think the Mongolians are here to stay.
It's one of those decisions I have to make. Okay, well, I'm putting Ryuden back down then.
I'm feeling him at Maegashira 16 East. I may have him too low, but I don't think they'll be generous to him. Who?
Probably Shirokuma.
Oh. So there'll probably be European again, but I feel like it just rotates around the world.
Also, you get hot prospects that come in.
And they bring others.
They bring others, and
influence.
also like you'll have some. Here's some new hotness guy who is in amateur sumo and he makes it to the finals. Like if it's today and he joins sumo tomorrow, it's gonna be 2 years before we see him.
Exactly.
So there could be people entering now that have to work their way up.
Right. We had to go way down and do some investigation of nationalities.
Not sure if Takara Fuji should be above Takayasu. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Some more Brazilian sumos. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Ariyama would bring some more people with him, but it didn't happen, so...
Be interesting if we see some jiu-jitsu people go over to sumo from
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, it's jiu-jitsu, judo, those are the two that, can cross over decently well.
Oh, wait, I'm not sure Takara Fuji should be above Takayasu.
Yeah, you
Okay.
switched it. I have Takayasu and Takarafuji at Maegashira 15. So where's Ryuden then?
Further down.
I mean, he did get a crap record.
Wait. Yeah. Like that.
That looks solid.
Getting there. We're getting there. We're molding it.
It's like the Play-Doh. I don't know what that weird target thing is in the middle.
I think that was put on that for games that are played on it.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a monitor setting.
Okay.
I would.
Yeah, it'd be something I would have no clue about.
Yeah. You can ask him about it.
I will.
I'm
What are you doing?
I'm assuming it's a button that it's a thing you could take on or off.
Taiho was half Ukrainian. I'm hoping for long-term success for the new Ukrainian guys. I have Pupadin at Maegashira 14 West. I'm assuming you mean Ryuden. Mitch has Shirakuma at...
M16.
Thank you for that, John. You guys are messing around now with Shirakuma. This is getting a little stressful. It was really chill, and now it's stressful. Why do you do this?
All right, so we had okay. Here's what we have. Takayasu and Takara Fuji are M15, and Ryuden should be above Takayasu.
It's like the opposite of what we just heard. Why should Ryuden be above them? Well, I guess he should be above.
Because he got some wins.
Yeah. He should be above Takayasu, probably.
Feel so much strongly about the other Nigeria wrestlers have no rights. That's... I know. I've never actually checked
to see if that's accurate.
Any of these rules. I just well, again, I think part of what makes this fun is that I come in here like no research. I just go in.
Just let you guys like
I was
make
right
up
last
the
time.
rules. See this?
Okay, guys. Okay, now we're running me in circles.
This is like writing, okay? And you're in the editing process and you just keep changing the sentence over and over and over again.
No, if we're doing editing process, I actually know what I'm doing.
True.
so yeah, I'm just like, no, we're doing this.
You're pretty methodical in the editing process.
Ryuden Mass M17 and Takayasu is only in top division due to Banzuke luck.
Well, don't forget that Kitanowaka Tamashoho are definitely not going to be above either of them.
Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay. And they want us to do something like this, except now that they want us to do
wow, that is
something
like
now we're doing this.
Would they really do that?
No.
No, they wouldn't. Shirakuma's going to be above somebody here. Okay. You know what?
Takayasu and Takafuji math out the M18. Kimbozan at 13 West and Onokatsu 12. Kimbozan is kind of high up there, actually.
Thank goodness for this tool.
Dude, I did this on a spreadsheet once, and I was like, this is a disaster.
The first time I ever did it, I didn't know about the tool, and I'm like, why does anybody do this? This is not fun. This is like a puzzle that sucks. Will they consider a record of 1, 0, and 14, and 1 and 14 is exactly the same?
It's either you win or you don't win. If you're now, there is some X factor for if you showed up and lost a bunch versus didn't show up at all, but but
it's minor.
That would be a tiebreaker. That's not going to really save your skin when it comes to how far you fall down. Like you'll fall down the same amount, but then like if it's you who showed up and got your butt kicked versus somebody who didn't show up at all, like you'll get the half rung on them.
Right. And that's about all you can expect.
That's about all. Yeah. So do not expect mercy. All right. So we're going to look back at math.
Yeah. The math. What's funny about the math is that the math did no favors last time.
The math helped a little bit.
This time. But last time, the math.
It was a disaster last time. This whole upper area was just a minefield.
So now we have to actually trust the math.
Yeah. Well, go a little bit more. All right. But I mean, it's some like look at Hokuto Fuji. I mean, I love.
I'm not feeling
because he's basically he did the least bad.
Right.
So he gets pushed up by everyone else.
True.
And the thing is, Ushozan is a little high yet. He did finally get first Kachi, so maybe they'll let him have it. The thing.
Yeah, but
you can't. Bushozan
is going to be over Onokatsu.
It's going to be over Onokatsu.
Wait a minute. Would Onokatsu... Oh, yeah. He's Juryo 1 West. Never mind.
So, the thing is that Bushozan's... So, like, if we put Bushozan down, Onokatsu has to go down, and then everybody... It's...
Let's not do that.
I mean, maybe that's what needs to be done, but...
If I believed in the math more, I would have had more points last time. The math makes it really fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the math is what makes it not fun to me. I'm the opposite. I'm like, ugh.
Okay. So
numbers.
Tamashoho all the way at the bottom. I feel confident on that.
I think he's a good like placeholder.
Kitanowaka right here, right next to it. I feel confident about that.
Yes.
Okay. We're feeling good about it. Okay. Takara Fuji down here. It's basically as low as you can get. He's got a 5 and 10. He was, again, basically, I decided the math pill harder. Bushan, I feel, is in the correct place due to literally no one else being a viable option in that spot. Yes, Mitch.
Precisely. So we can even say Bushozan's a placeholder.
So Bushozan's the upper limit. Takara Fuji's a lower limit. And so now it's these punks.
Right.
that we're messing around with.
And really, it's only Hokuto Fuji where the math is just...
So, well, the thing is, Hokuto Fuji can't be any high. Basically, M13 West is about as high as... or as high up as you can go.
Right.
And then the thing is that everybody else down here is so much worse.
Right. It's
So-
true. I mean, we got a 5.
Yeah,
a
so we
3.
have Takayasu above Takara Fuji was the consensus.
That's like the one. Yeah, because Takayasu had such a fall.
Yep.
Such a far fall.
Far fall. Technically, he should be down 15 rungs, like people are saying.
But there's new guys to come in.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's not enough new guys. As it is, 4 people is kind of excessive.
Right.
But
like if there was a bunch of guys waiting to take spots, he's just out.
Maybe. And also keep in mind he's M3 and he's got a tenure in the top division. Also,
Former Ozeki.
Busho's on finally coming out of his shell a little bit.
Like I said, I feel mixed feelings on that. But that's only because of the 42 opinions people.
Well, there it is right there. Case in point.
Here we go. This is why. It's because of you that I have to feel this way about Busho.
All right. Sorry. So, okay. Tamashoho, good. Kitanowaka, good. Takara Fuji, good. Takayasu, good. The Kitanowaka and Tamashoho sliding definitely into the bottom spot helps them remember the Banzuke bakers are drunks or easy decisions are better.
Put Shirakuma above Ryuden?
We're back for full circle. Okay.
Somebody help us.
So Ryuden 3-12. So he's only here on the nature of the fact that he had any wins at all. Another person who is saved by the fact that he had any wins at all.
I could see that being viable, actually.
So then Shirakuma coming up, Yusho, and not with a horrific record.
Right. I think that makes sense to me. The only question I have actually is should Shirakuma and Nishikigi swap?
So we have Kinbozan, Onokatsu, Hokuto Fuji, Nishikigi, and Shirakuma. So these are, we got to work things around. So Onokatsu can't be any higher than this. I feel like this is already pretty generous for him.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Hokuto Fuji can't take Onokatsu's spot.
No, Hokuto Fuji
holding at a 6 and 9.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, we can't. So Hokuto Fuji really can't go lower
because everybody else had less wins.
Yeah. So Nishikigi has a 5-10. They're sort of interchangeable in a way. So like you can sort of go like this a little bit, but it's 6.5 dozen of another.
I could see it though, because I don't see you going down a half rung. But then could you switch Hokuto Fuji and Shirakuma? No.
Like him at M14 is already high, but high because all these other people are really, really worse. Hokuto Fuji wasn't worse.
Okay.
I think the Shirakuma pick is going to determine the winner this time around. I still think he lands lower than everyone here, but I think I'm okay dying on the hill.
Maria, I remember you said you were having trouble emotionally when you researched the Ryuden scandal. I want to know, have you looked up the Oshoma scandal, or have you been scared of researching since? I don't want to look up scandals.
Oshoma did a lot of bullying, and a couple of people quit over Oshoma's bullying, and it was sort of his stable master wasn't really doing anything about it because he was a big prospect and he didn't want him to get into trouble.
So it was like nothing changing and he's still bullying people?
Yes.
Or? Oh,
allegedly.
Great.
Allegedly. And that is also what happened is the Hokuseiho bullying scandal flared up, caused a massive stink, and then anytime any rumblings of any bullying comes along,
Oshoma's the target.
It is you punish Hokuseiho and the entire stable over that one thing, but this guy's getting swept under the rug. What's the big deal? There was that Onosato drinking booze with underage, weird scandal thing that was also sort of shoved under the rug. And the only reason that people were really, really upsetty spaghetti about that was because of the massive overreaction on the Hakuho scandal. So this is,
Right.
we're part of this churn.
It's all churn. Habab Gob. The thing is, I looked that up, and as far as I could see, that was not the case. That the baby was not born. So you would have to give me something to search. Now, keep in mind, we're translating articles, but somebody sent me the article to translate, and it said the baby was not born. So if you've got something else, send it to me. But I am now terrified of scandals after reading all of that. Most people who read it were like, oh, okay, that's pretty horrible stuff. There's like pictures and everything. I'm like, yeah, they got him. They got him.
I don't know about Shirokuma going up that high, GR Sumo.
Well, I mean, I feel like the only way Shirokuma goes any lower is if Tamashoho doesn't come up.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Shirokuma was Juryo 8. So technically he goes up. So normally he goes up 9 slots.
Yep.
That's going to put him here
on
M16.
Right. Which would give you only Kita no Waka if.
And so, but then he has Yusho.
Right.
Gives him some priority, and he is competing with Ryuden, Takayasu, and Takarafuji, who are already being under-demoted.
Right. I think Shirokuma's in the right spot.
So there is some Shirokuma versus Nishikigi going on, maybe.
But people are already saying he's up too high, so we don't want to move him. Tamashoho, Onosho, and Chiyoshima deserve to be the same rank, right? Seems like a 3-sided coin.
Yeah, so...
Well, that would mean you'd think Tamashoho doesn't come up.
Well, these... Well, Nishikifuji's no hope. But yeah, Onosho, Chiyoshima, and Tamasho. This was part of the... Do we bring up Kitanowaka on an 8 and 7? Do we bring up Tamashoho on a 9 and 6? Yeah. Shirokuma and Onokatsu were fairly straightforward.
Yeah. The Oshoma thing got largely ignored since the people he's bullying ended up quitting. And I'm sure that was a big part of the whole thing is like, it's kind of like, just get out. You don't like it, just get out. Don't mess around.
This is also why I'm like, we only know so much of it.
Exactly.
And so, and again, this is, people live in a boot camp frat house.
Yeah.
There is...
Isolated from the world. They can't have social media.
Yep. You are beating the crap out of each other for half the day.
But then later on, when you get mad at somebody, you're not supposed to beat it. Like, it's not... I'm not condoning it, but what I'm also saying is it's not a lifestyle conducive to doing the right thing.
Correct.
So if you do the right thing in sumo, you must be like a superhero.
Yes. Also keep in mind that you have some people who are going into sumo because it's sumo. You have some people going into sumo because they don't have any other real life choices, and this is a place where they can get free room and board and so whatever they want. And some people go into sumo so that they can hurt other people.
Yes. That's what you're trying to find. You're trying to find the guy who's in there to hurt people and get that guy out.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things going on here. Sort of like what Hobgob says. Tabloids, nothing was confirmed. You know, was it true? Was it not true?
Was it used because of the Hakuho thing?
This is why it's such a big old mess. It's definitely not a good look.
No, it'd be nice if they could just get their crap together and really actually go after bullying. It doesn't seem like they really want to go after it. Don't forget to take Asanoyama out.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, the thing is that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's enshrined at Yokozuna.
That's
one
right. He is
because I don't actually need to put him anywhere else.
Exactly. He can stay there forever. 9 ranks for Maegashira 8 places him at Maegashira 17 by the math. I have him at Maegashira 16, which to me is a slight over promotion.
Yeah.
Listen, Mitch, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But we can't mess with this now.
We're I feel like we're dialing in.
Yes, I think we're. Unless you have something that's real simplistic, we're probably gonna do what we have.
Yeah. Well, getting.
Will do things
I feel like we're getting closer. Getting closer.
GR wants you to look at Sanyaku.
Yep, that's why I scrolled it up. I mean, you can look at Ozeki too if you want,
Yes,
but
boredom. No, we can't look at Ozeki. It's not. It's
okay,
too painful.
never mind. Sorry, we're not looking at
There are
Ozeki.
no longer any Ozekis. They're all gone. Oh wait, no. Hoshuryu's there. I forgot.
Kotozakura, you're on notice.
Kotozakura needs to step up. I know, John. You're right. But hear me out, right?
I don't even just say it. Keep going.
Great. He's a 10-5. We want results now. He's a big dude. He should be able to beat anybody. Win. Terunofuji's on the way out, dude. I'm sure his father's doing that to him. I'm sure of it.
Let me show you what a bad Ozeki looks like.
Terrible Ozeki.
Look at these horrible numbers.
I know.
We're giving
If
each
only
other.
they didn't have the 2 Yusho. I mean, look at those records, man. He's got to stop losing to.
Well, the both of them have the same problem, which is there's one or two things holding them back. And like it feels like from the outside looking in that it's just like you should be able to figure this out.
Right. Do it because I want you to.
Yeah. Well, more like it's like we're looking at this and we're like, okay, he just has some focus issues and sometimes he has trouble gauging the aggression for Kotozakura. So it's like you feel like both of those things will figure themselves out. And you go to Hoshoryu and it's just like he's losing the matches against
Day 1 guys.
There are oversight losses of what it looks like. It's like you probably figure this out.
Maybe you should wear contacts. I mean, maybe it's just you can't see. I don't know.
And Nishikigi fights without them glasses.
I know.
Yeah,
Nishikigi looks good in those glasses.
He does. Also, he puts those things on like as soon as he's done fighting.
Yeah, he's like, yes.
You must be so blind.
That's totally me though. Like if we have to spar and I forget contacts and I have to put my glasses down and I literally cannot see a thing. The second they're like, get a water break, those glasses are right back on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even see that good in contacts. I prefer the glasses. But, back to Kotozakura for a second. Kotozakura should be Yokozuna. Terunofuji poo-poos us all and says, these wrestlers are great. Did you see that whole thing?
Well, he's transitioning out.
Right, so got some rosy...
He has been doing the fade, the slow, building things out. You have to quit losing. Now that's some inspiring advice. That's a bit of advice to any records with losing records.
I know. Says the Takakeisho fan. I have no problem being like, you gotta stop losing. I'm just, now we're getting into the wee hours, and this is where I start getting real punchy. Yeah. I mean, if they can't see as bad as I can't see, I don't know how you do a sumo match. I would probably miss the guy on the Tachi-ai. You're never going to catch me doing sumo. GR Sumo does sumo. Both Hoshoryu and Kotozakura have that lapse, but you're always excited to see a Hoshoryu match, but not a Kotozakura match. I kind of agree with you on that. Maybe that's why I'm getting on Kotozakura. I wish he was a little... I want to see him do some big throws or something.
Kotozakura is not as dynamic as Hoshoryu, but
he's massive, man.
Kotozakura's impressiveness is on his defense.
Yes,
it's on it's stuff that's not as flashy. So, but the thing is that Hoshoryu does it and he's flashy.
I know.
I feel like people are looking past Kotozakura a little bit, but at the same time, I agree with you. Where's the rope?
Yeah.
Where's the rope?
Come on, man. Let's see. Once Terra leaves, one more free win for the top guys, kinda. Yeah, that's an iffy thing. Because, if Terra's not in good shape, they get a free win. Jirasumo, okay. I would place that in the letter as well, but I'm not sure how to translate it. Though Ozeki is the crappiest rank on the Banzuke. Some people are arguing that it's actually Sekiwake now because you don't get the the every other thing, but I still think it's Ozeki.
Ozeki's worse.
Yeah.
Ozeki's worse.
You get to punish and beat yourself up.
Well, the thing about Sekiwake is bad. Kamasubi is the best.
Yeah.
Because you're all the way at the top, you get to feel good, but then you don't have the pressure of
you're almost to Ozeki.
Where's your run, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Daisho? Do we care if he's on a Ozeki run? I mean, I care, but
But like, it's like, just do your thing.
Yeah, it's just like if Daisho gets a 9 and 6, we'll be like, all right, we're good.
And if you're Sekiwake, okay, you can drop out and get back to Sekiwake. Ozeki, it's the fact that if you lose it to get back to it, you have to hit the 33 wins and this, that, and the other thing. That's why Ozeki sucks more than Sekiwake. Because most people are not going to do it. Like, once you're out of Ozeki, you're not getting back. But you could get back to Sekiwake.
Yeah, that's like when you're Sekiwake, it's like, because, case in point, we're looking at Abi, we're looking at Kirishi, we're looking at Onosata, we're just like, where's your double-digit wins, buddy? That's when it starts.
Exactly.
That's when the crap starts, when you're at Sekiwake.
You just keep trying and trying and trying, you're just stuck with Sekiwake.
And that sucks. You get to Ozeki, and then everybody's sort of looking at you, like, why aren't you winning Yushos, bro?
And then people decide that you're a sucky Ozeki because you never made it to Yokozuna. You're not.
So you are stuck. A 9 and 6 isn't good enough. A 10 and 5 is
barely
scraping by, and then if you can't get your stuff together, then 6 months of work is thrown out.
And what's very funny is, I made the mistake of listening to Monster and going on the Sumo Reddit. Never doing that again. There was a lot of this crap about, Taki Keisho, wasn't even close to Yokozuna, this and the other thing. He was runner-up in a lot of tournaments, and that is Ozeki Sumo. You can't say that for a lot of these Ozekis. They weren't always runner-ups. So get out of here with this. If you don't make Yokozuna, somehow you're a failed Ozeki. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You are an Ozeki. It's really hard to get there, so it's hard to be a pretender. Even though Shodai did what Shodai did, he was good enough to make Ozeki.
Good enough.
There's a pretty high threshold. So
not good enough to keep it. And that's another thing. Keeping Sekiwake, you fall in, you fall out, I'll just get it back.
In and out.
In and out. That's where the Sanyaku is nice. Keeping Ozeki is a curse.
Yeah, and like I said, if you lose Ozeki, you're probably not getting back.
Probably.
So, anyway.
Yeah, they're going off about it. So we said Kotozakura is just a bigger, stronger Shodai. Maybe.
Well, there's a little bit of how he absorbs the Tachi-Ai. There's a little bit of that going on with Kotozakura.
A little bit.
Where he just stands straight up, takes your blow, and then comes at you.
Kotozakura is Shodai if he was consistent.
Well, wouldn't it be fun to watch Kotozakura and Shodai fight and see if there's like an anti-Tachi-Ai?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We're going to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I already got my MVP match.
I see Kotozakura simmering at double-digit wins at Ozeki before making Yokozuna like Kakuryu did due to his 10-5 machine. He could take his time, but Ozeki's a crap place to be, as we were just saying. I don't know about that one, Jemmy. These Ozeki have had the tendency to take some dumbass losses to make a share like to do.
That's like a thing now. I don't know.
Who doesn't want to be sexy Wake? Kiri. Is Daisho the new Takayumi stuck at Laura Sanyaku and M1 for years?
No, Daisho's in better shape than Takayumi.
Is Tim Sumo the guy from Reddit?
I don't know.
No
idea.
How long was Terunofuji Ozeki? Not long.
Like 5 seconds.
But when he was before he fall from grace, he was Ozeki for a little while actually.
Right. He was Ozeki, fell all the way down to the bottom, comes back up, roars into be Ozeki.
Yeah, he was a. How long was he Ozeki? Oh boy.
It's a long time
There
ago.
you go. Jirio.
East Ozeki right there, May 2017. Yep.
So,
Ozeki for quite a few times.
2015 to 2017. So 2 years. And then so doing a good job of it. Hanging in there. And also this is him being an Ozeki in 2017 where you're just full of killers. Kiseno Sato's on the way up. Haruma Fuji, Kakuryu, Hakuho. 2 years of Ozeki with that kind of competition, not bad.
There were some people who said Terunofuji doesn't deserve to be Dai Yokozuna. I'm like, get out of here. I'm not going back to Reddit.
I don't know what the whole conversation is about how Dai Yokozuna doesn't mean 10 U shows. There's some other things going on. I'm like, you know what? I don't
care anymore.
I don't know enough about this, and I heard Murray Johnson say Dai Yokozuna, and that's all I need to know.
Murray is the man, and he knows. That guy knows everything about
Not
sumo.
saying that the people who are saying they're not actually Daiyokuzuna are wrong. There could be some other things going on. I just don't understand it.
It's just, why are we paying so much attention to like who's worthy by people who don't do sumo?
All right. Thing is, once you get to Ozeki, the only thing in your mind is win the Yusho, but at Sekiwaki and below, you can win special prizes and climb the. That's a good point. Special prizes.
That's another thing. Yeah, no Ozeki, it's like you won. Good for you.
Oh, much lower ranked him. Mistake. I don't. Teru's Ozeki for a little less than 3 years. Yep. Good to read what people who disagree with you are saying at times. There's.
True.
Teru was Ozeki for 14 tournaments and then dropped. Oh, people are just saying the things that I was.
We're on about. This thing is a little bit behind us.
Yep.
Tim Sumo is one of the top 10 Banzuke guys right now. Oh. Banzuke? Okay. Also, do we say that Tochinoshi and Goido are a disappointment? No. So anyone who makes Ozeki with an exemption of Shodai is an exceptional rikishi. Shodai is exceptional in his own way. He gets his own category.
We take all kinds here.
That's right. Like I said, that whole Reddit post was, about Takakeisho's wins, comparing him to other Ozeki, all this garbage. Okay, let's do the ultimate numbers game. If you make Ozeki, you're Ozeki. Period. And whether or not you think he's worthy is not my concern.
It's just that they're just people that are on the hate grind.
It is like the I think they actually dislike Takakeisho fans more than Takakeisho, though, because the comments were like, "Oh, let's see the Takakeisho fans come in and say leave him alone." So you admit that you're trying to provoke a reaction, and you're getting it from me right now, aren't you? So forget Sumo Reddit.
Forget Reddit, but that's another story.
I know. I didn't even know what Reddit was until they told me about Sumo Reddit, and then I'm like, oh, I think I heard about this Reddit thing. This is where all the people come to say horrible things.
Yeah. Reddit has good aspects, but it's like all social media. You need to be very careful about how you use it and how you monitor it.
Right. And it doesn't really get monitored much, I guess.
Well, social media in general does not get monitored. People aren't trained on how to use social media. This is my shtick. I'm going to get off this horse.
Well, what's funny is, like, we kind of grew up. I'm a little older than you. We kind of grew up before social media was a thing. Mm-hmm. And then they just threw it at us. And they're like, just do this thing. And like, there should have been training, preparation. Like, this may change your life forever. But it was like, nah, we'll be fine. You were wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Public service announcement. Think about your mental health.
Think about your mental health
before you go on social media.
That's why I don't have any social media except for this YouTube channel with 42 opinions. Just not worth it. Anyway. Shodai doing Shodai things. I kind of think that he wants to retire and drink wine on the beach. Shodai will be a star when he retires. Shodai only made Ozeki because there were no fans during COVID. Shodai has crazy nerves and low confidence. So, that's interesting. So having no fans took the nerves away from Shodai. They did talk about at that time how some wrestlers
did better without the crowds and some people did worse.
But you know what? He still did it.
Yep.
Like, to go around about who deserves and doesn't deserve, he still did it. Let me go to your job and say, how many hours did you work today versus how many hours were you on the internet? You're not a good worker because you spent 57 minutes on Yahoo News or something, Let's see. Takakeisho's Dai Ozeki there. Now everyone but Maria is mad. Yep, I got a big smile on my face. That's how Reddit is, the most self-aggrandizing website on earth. I'd love to see the list of those who made Ozeki and how long they held it. That is in the thing, and maybe I'll discuss it at a later time. Takakeisho, Tochinoshi, and Goido were Dai Ozeki. Okay, fair. Easiest way to see if you're a good Ozeki or not, compare how long they held it. Let's see, Mitakumi made Ozeki and lasted about 5 minutes. Well, a lot of the stuff is, Takakeisho came up at a time where there was less competition. But as I stated on my Takakeisho birthday stream, which was very well put together, I think. Anyway, Takakeisho won all the U shows except for Sandame. I'd like to see how many people did that. He was the 6th fastest to be promoted to Ozeki. The 6th youngest to be promoted to Ozeki. He wasn't a flash in the pan. He was a hot prospect that got screwed by the scandal in his stable and then got a severe injury. That could happen to anyone. It has happened in other sports. I always think about Eric Lindros. He was like going to be the man, and he just got these concussions, and it was concussion after concussion. He just couldn't play anymore. So, you know, you can talk about, well, if Taka Keisho wasn't wrestling with these lesser thans, he wouldn't be Ozeki. If Taka Keisho didn't get injured, maybe he'd be Yokozuna. We can't talk about the ifs. We talk about what is. Taka Keisho, Ozeki, 5 years, end the discussion. Enho did worse during COVID because there were no fans. Yeah, he really thrived on the energy. Imagine if some commentator was like, I'll prove you wrong, then goes to Japan, becomes Yokozuna 15 years later, and then goes back to the Reddit post and says, check this out. That's an anime waiting to happen. Somebody write that down. More interesting is that no one has won all the lower division U shows. Everyone has missed at least one. So no one's ever done it. That is fascinating.
Now, what's interesting about that is that a lot of the really good people skip the line. They just go right to Makushita.
That's true.
So nobody, like, you would need the guy to start at Jono Kuchi.
Yeah.
Win that, go to Jonidan, then go to Sandanme, then go to...
Which, Taka Keisho had the option of doing the whole skipperoo thing. I forget what it's called. And he chose to start at the bottom and plowed his way through and just won all these because he was that confident in his ability and he wanted to learn. So, yeah, we'll add some guts to that. Yes, well done, Maria. The Taka Keisho birthday stream was awesome, especially with the U-Show and playoff videos for us to watch. Thank you. I did enjoy that as well, and it didn't get taken down, so that was good.
The audio, I think, was a big help.
Yeah, I really wanted the audio because, like, the crowd was pumped. But I'm like, it's not worth getting the stream taken down. I do still think Taka Keisho would have been Yokozuna if he has Kosho.
Kosho is I get to take a tournament off for injury program that they got rid of because people were abusing it.
Which will happen again if they bring it back.
Correct, so they shouldn't.
The thing is I think if Taka Keisho could have healed from that first hit with Ichinojo, things would be different. If Reddit makes it into the canon of a manga, I might fall out my chair and croak. What's the Sukidashi in reference to? Anyway, do we think we are good with this, John?
Any objections to what's on the screen?
This is your last opportunity to object. Is that really true that we have 146 views? That's interesting. Oh, Monster's drunk. What else is new? That's what we expect in the Guess the Banzuke. I don't know about your everyday life, but I expect it on the GTB. Oh, sorry. I lost my own train of thought. Tsukidashi is what they call you when you skip ranks. Yeah, Taka Keisho had a lot of options. I mean, he was high school Yokozuna. He was winning all kinds of tournaments there, too. And, you know, I think he dropped out of high school. He went right into the stable, dropped out of high school, put all of his eggs in the sumo basket. 4chan used to be the place everyone complained about until Reddit happened. I do remember hearing about 4chan. No objections, John. I think Elise is the person who gets to decide. I'm starved for sumo, looking forward to some more. That's why we do this.
Tournament starts early, which is why this show is earlier.
It's my birthday tournament. I love it. Keep dwelling on the past. We can't focus on the good in the future. Taka Keisho made Ozeki won for you show. That's right. And when I put up my grand tribute to him, you're all going to see it. I got some good videos. It's past Mitch's bedtime. Oh my God. How late is it?
It's nearly midnight.
Okay. I will make a Taka Keisho video and start a sumo YouTube channel after he retires. I encourage it. It sounds like we even tired out the 42 opinions people. So I think we should say yes. This is a go. I could repurpose my old TikTok. If you have a whole bunch of Taka Keisho videos, I'll be on your channel watching them. Yes, 4chan is still around, but nobody talks about it anymore.
Final thoughts.
I think this was fun.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Good night, GR Sumo. Good night, everyone. You know that you have had quite a stream when these guys aren't trying to keep us here. They try to keep me on for hours, and they're all saying good night.
Yeah, well, it's 2.5 hours. And also, you, no, actually, yeah, you start your streams around this time, right?
Yeah.
The same time, yeah.
So we just broke the record for live stream time right now. Our alarm is set up to go off in 3 hours.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.
All right,
it was a blast.
I'm gonna push the button.
Button pushing.
Button. Push the button.